I guess.
Okay.
Are we
Thank you.
ready? Oh, I guess we're ready. So, welcome to Jstris Cup X, the one and only. This is pretty stacked. You see it the same way, or?
Pretty stacked, the tournament?
Yeah?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I already saw a couple of big names in like the top 8 that we were like waiting on finishing. We already got like a regular of the tournament, and someone who like typically places pretty well has done, I think, like, in terms of Jstris Cups, he's won like 7 or 8 of them now, right? Like Firestorm,
yeah.
tournament, yep. Diao, I'm saying that right now.
You did it.
QMK, you know, they're making appearances as well. So yeah, a lot on the docket list tonight. A lot to be excited about.
Go for it. Show us that bracket. All right, what have we? I mean, I know we're starting with Firestorm against Vince. Looks like losers isn't even ready yet, so it looks like people are still playing their matches. It looks like Wumbo beat Cosine. Kind of sad about that. Cosine upset Dormy, for those who didn't know, which is pretty impressive. Cosine.
Oh, was that in this tournament? I thought you were referring to a different.
Oh, no, that just happened like an hour ago. Pretty crazy. So, good for him.
Yeah, I wasn't able to follow the entire bracket, but we've already had a couple of upsets, and if not upsets, at the very least, like very intense games coming up to the top 8 here.
Oh yeah, my bad. That's crazy, not Cosine. See,
crazy. Okay.
See, I'm mad because I swear they both have this weird string of letter names. So crazy is like A B C D Q D, and Cosine is, I think, A S F D G. So I can't even differentiate them. It's not within my power. I don't
don't know how to separate the two.
Yeah, it's not in my skill set.
I'll cover for you this time around. You know, like, watch for my Diaos though. I've been working on those.
You got it. I'll call you out. It's okay. I have faith.
Oh, whoops.
Whoops. Micro actually made top 8, winner's side. Very excited to see.
I forgot to go into spectator, my bad. Alright, so yeah. I think we're doing Firestorm versus Vince first up.
Yeah, looks like it. This is bound to be interesting.
Yeah, like they always have a pretty interesting set.
Alright, looks like they're about to start. Alright, so looks like, yep, Firestorm and Vince about to start here. Firestorm, he's known. You all know who he is. He's won like 8 of these. Kind of a god at this game. Probably the best Jstris player right now. Is this the first time? Did they not play in Tetrio?
Yeah, they've definitely played in Tetrio before, but this is probably their first time playing against each other in Jstris. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Vince, you should also all know, right? Needs no introduction. 15-second sprinter, kind of the fastest player in the world right now. No biggie, you know.
That is so crazy just to look at. You know, I mean, I know 15.6 is a crazy record just on its own, but just seeing it next to one of the best players in the world's 40-line time, you can kind of see like the speed discrepancy. Almost 3 whole seconds.
All right, this is a warm-up, it looks like. So I think this is already going to be pretty indicative of how both these players are going to be playing here. So Firestorm already 4 PPS, right? Like this is what you expect from Firestorm. His whole game plan, right, is I want to pressure my opponents and top them out with this sort of style of pressure. Whereas I don't see exactly what Vince is going for, but I think he's mostly planning on using his like immense crazy speed.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's much to be said about Firestorm's play. I mean, sometimes it does get to be a little bit autopilot sometimes, because I mean, his whole intention with his game plan is to turn it into a single player game. Vince, on the other hand, I think like very much carries his whole performance based on the speed that he displays. Like even in this round, he started off 3 PPS average, and then at the end, like he sped up to 3.6.
Yeah. No, Vince super fast, right? Like you can see him burst. He like what you should be looking out for Vince, right? Is like he has the potential to go so fast, so you'll see that in like speed bursts in his play. sorry everyone. Dazer just said the most. All right, well, we won't get into it. It's pretty good. It was pretty good. All right, Firestorm cheesed up a little bit here, but it looks like he was able to get down pretty nicely. Vince, a bit of a misdrop here. We'll see if he's able to sort of downstack, but it seems like he's able to kind of dig through it. Firestorm relenting a little bit on that pressure, but now again stacking up. Looks like he's going for a 4 wide here, seeing if he can get a big spike.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be most troubling for Vince. Oh, wow, he's actually able to survive it, but I don't think he has enough room to get down.
Oh. Super unfortunate. Almost able to survive the 4 wide, but not quite.
Yeah, that was a really good effort. Honestly, like I'm surprised he didn't just get topped out outright from that. Yeah. That's going to be one of the most problematic things about Firestorm's play, at least for Vince to try to counter, because, oh man, sometimes he has like the most rough misdrops to get through, and I think that's going to be like Firestorm's openings in terms of setting that 4 wide up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Firestorm, like again, his 4 wide is again obviously very scary, but even like without the 4 wide, right? It's not like that's like a super main part necessarily of his game, because he's still, again, his main focus is this whole single player aspect.
And that's the thing, really. Like, I mean, the most threatening thing about Firestorm isn't the fact that, like he's got a powerful 4 wide or a back-to-back game. It's just that he is quite literally like good at every aspect of the game that causes pressure to be mounted onto the opponent. Like he's the one that squeezes you dry, and you can kind of see that in every aspect of his play too. That's what he's trying to accomplish, really.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think also a lot of like the Jstris mechanics kind of reward that style of play as well, compared to clients such as Tetrio, where Tetrio rewards like these huge multiplier spikes, and those are often like what determine whether a game is won or lost. In this game, there's a lot spikes are a lot less prominent, or like, not that they don't matter, of course, right? Because when you spike out an opponent, right.
I honestly think like mainly it's just a difference of like how you're spiking. I think in terms of the 2 games. Yeah, because I mean, Jstris is very spike heavy, but like in different ways. You have to set up the position first, in my opinion. And then, that's when the 4 wides and like the big back-to-back fractal into downstack combos come out and, really shine. Because, I mean, I've tried just, for example, just mounting a bunch of back-to-back pressure and trying to just like top over my opponent with that kind of pressure. But, like if your opponent isn't in a bad position, then really like it's not so difficult. So you really do need to like use all your tools here.
Yeah, like it's a lot more difficult for like the spikes to top people out. And I think that's also partially why we see a lot more 4 wide on this platform. I mean, partially because the combo table is a lot more friendly towards it compared to Tetrio, but also because a lot of the time it's that extra little bit that you need, or like when you find an opportunity where your opponent misdrops, it's that little extra bit of spiking damage that can win you around, especially like when it's a lot easier to downstack out of bad situations here.
Right, and it really does open up a lot of opportunities. Like if we look at players who are more downstack heavy, like Diao, for example, one of the things that he does is set up his opponent's board with cheese, such that they're in a bad position. And actually, that's kind of the game plan that Vince is taking on at the moment. Like back pressure when his opponent is in a bad position, and it actually works out. Like after he set up the position for the cheese, like he just goes for that back-to-back pressure, keeps pushing. If his opponent happens to get out momentarily, like he just goes back to downstack comboing, set up the board again, and then just go for more back-to-backs when he can.
For sure, yeah. Vince coming back a little bit, by the way. 3-2 now. in Firestorm's favor, winning the last 2 games though on Vince's end. So a lot of it was just sort of exploiting Firestorm's mistakes. And speaking of Firestorm's mistakes,
God.
Vince, he has so much pressure there. Firestorm unable to find a way out.
Yeah, honestly, Vince was looking a little shaky at the beginning, but he's really coming in on his own here, like really solidifying some of his play, and commentator's curse.
Yeah, 4.35 PPS, that's just like, it's unheard of in multiplayer, basically, right? Even from Firestorm, you don't see that too often.
Yeah, Firestorm lighting up with some back-to-backs on his end, too, giving his own response to the pressure that Vince has been mounting onto him.
Yeah, this set is really a lot of like a story of who makes the first mistake and like can the pressure not let up. And I think both of these players are doing a great job of not letting up the pressure.
That's very true. Yeah, and I think that's going to be paramount in this matchup. I mean, just look at all the pressure that Vince is sending over to Firestorm, and he's still living through this. Like, look at how cheesy it looks. Firestorm almost at the bottom of the field.
Wow, nice comeback there. That was really scary from Firestorm, but that was like very smart timing from him, able to like recognize that, wow, I have a Tetris ready, and so I should time that effectively to cancel Vince's send so I don't die, and then able to come back from that.
And I do wonder how much timing Vince is employing in his play because, well, like in my discussions with Firestorm, he does seem to be like one of those players that autopilots through a lot of the game situations and most optimal setups. Usually it's like a 6-3 stack for back-to-backs, for example, and he's usually able to find most continuations. But the thing is, like, there's this subtle timing that he operates with. It's like the flow of the match. You have to like be able to follow it to know when to attack your opponent, and I wonder how much of that kind of game sense Vince is using at the moment.
Yeah, also important to note, right? Like Vince, while he is super known for his speed, right? Like I don't think his versus game is as optimized given his speed as a player like Firestorm. Where like Vince knows how to go really fast, and he's obviously no slouch in versus. I mean, you're watching this, right? Like he's kind of a champion. But
yeah, he's holding his own right now.
Definitely holding his own. But then some aspects of his play might not be as, say, refined, I guess, as Firestorm.
Right. Yeah, I can kind of see that like in the way that he's downstacking some of these situations too. Like some of them he's just like rushing through. Oh, interesting. Center 4 wide from Vince. Ends up being a pretty decent one. He's got Firestorm on the ropes. He just needs to capitalize on this. Oh,
he
no,
chokes with the misdrop.
He's still able to. Oh no! He was able to get the T-spin double. I am so shocked that he's still alive, actually, because some of these misdrops are wild.
Wow, what a sad way to lose a round too. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think
had him.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, he had the situation completely under control. I think he just like rushed it a little bit. Maybe he saw like blood and he got a little too excited and kind of slipped with some of his pieces. A little unfortunate to see, but same situation here. Let's see if he can finish it up. He does.
Yeah, that's what you like to see, you know. Vince again able to kind of recompose after that last game and remember, like, it's not over until it's over. I gotta finish the game.
Yeah, you gotta like go in with a strong attitude, really. I think really, I mean, just the fact that this is a puzzle game, but it's also like a mental sport, so you really need to conserve that energy for where it matters.
Oh, for sure. And I think what I'm noticed in these last couple games, they weren't necessarily the deciders. In the last game it was, but Firestorm has just been creating these huge spikes. And Vince just didn't seem to really have an answer to them. Okay, commentator's curse. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Yeah, Firestorm just misdropped the O piece. I think he would have been fine otherwise. Just, you know, a slight miscalculation there with the spacing.
Because, I mean, both these players are just looking to punish, right? So even a tiny mistake like that can cost a round. Even on a platform which is like as downstack friendly, or friendly towards downstackers, I guess, as Jstris.
Yeah, I think in that situation, you just really have to like watch out for the top. Some of the physics of the pieces at the top of the field, like they don't really play in the correct way. Like you might kick a wall or something, and that might impact like how the piece moves. So it's important to like pay attention more at the top.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's easy to like make a mistake at the top again, yeah. For sure. I think everyone who's played Tetris also knows that, because even on top of like the different kicks and such, there's also the pressure. Oh, Firestorm, that 4-wide, unfortunately getting a little greedy.
Yeah, I am actually shocked about that. Because,
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Because he usually never gets caught. Yeah, like this just goes to show. I mean, my hypothesis is just slight miscalculations of the timing. Maybe Firestorm not used to such a speedy opponent. Because Vince can actually like accelerate his velocity to crazy extremes. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know how much of an impact that might make.
Yeah. It's hard. It's always hard to sort of estimate something like that, right? Like how Firestorm's being impacted, how he has to change his game plan. Now he's setting up a 4-wide. Oh, this is so high. This is bound to be a lot of damage.
Man.
If he can find
Vince is not prepared to. Like as soon as he's caught, he just throws up. Oh no!
Oh, this is so unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right, nice score here. Firestorm match point now. Looking to make his mark and win the first set, make it to winners finals.
Yeah, making quick work of his opponent. I mean, like, Firestorm has been controlling the pace throughout, and I mean, honestly, I do think, just based on what I've seen in this match, Vince can truly take this. He just really needs to solidify some of his play here. Some of it is looking a little patchwork. It's looking good right now, but really, like, it starts to get out of control once Vince starts misdropping a lot. Firestorm's definitely not someone that you want to do that against.
Can we talk about those 2 mid-game PCs from Firestorm? That was nutty, alright? No other players doing that stuff, alright? Let's go.
That is actually insane, because I mean that's not even his record. I'm pretty sure he's done like 3 or 4 like mid-game before.
It's still crazy every time though, because mid-game PCs, right, there's also the whole luck element, how much garbage did you tank, right?
Right.
And
it shows the mastery of the board. I mean, just be able to manipulate it so that, it fits the shape that it needs to in the moment.
And he always sees them too, which is just definitely speaks to his PC vision, right? Especially because PCs usually don't play that big of a part in sort of the versus game. It's cool to see Firestorm kind of incorporate that.
Yeah, it's just like what it should be is a nice little bonus, but this is just, out of control. The way they can explode them like that. Oh man. Yeah.
Unfortunate misdrop on Vince's end. And yeah. Good set.
Yeah, honestly, the showing from Vince was actually pretty impressive. I think like if he cleans up his game, I do still think like his speed is going to be a big factor here in the future as soon as he gets more consistent with his play. If he can fix that, or at least like optimize his fixes for the misdrops that he does do in a way that would pressure his opponent, like I think if he adopts more of a Junba's playstyle in terms of like misdrop management, oozing out as much as he can, turning it into a downstack combo, I think like he can make some really big strides and some waves in multiplayer play.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, again, like his speed is unparalleled, right? It's just, I think, a little bit of the sort of this transferring that from sprint to multiplayer, because they're obviously so different, right? But I think once he does that, he can become a great player. Oh, Wumbo's dropping out. Apparently, it looks like he's not playing his match in loser's side.
I wonder why. This has been the theme.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, like, I don't think he's joined a Jstris Cup in a while, but the last one that I think it might have been, oh no, it wasn't a Jstris Cup, but it was a Jstris turn. Oh, nice time, man.
Thank you. Gotta flex that,
You look good, yeah, look fly, yeah.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I know, like the camera doesn't show. I'm wearing a tie too, you know, like he's not the
Let's
only
go.
fan.
Yeah, Micro Blizz looks cute, guys. Tell him. Yeah, wow. So Wumbo dropping out. He also dropped out of Revolution, I think. So
Right. Yeah, that was the tournament that I was referring to. Yeah, interesting choice. I mean, I guess like in terms of moving through losers bracket, there's more mental expenditure, especially since he was put in losers bracket like before top 8 began. So he's gonna have to go through a tear just to be able to get through it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's interesting though. Congrats to Cheap then for winning that losers top 8 match. Cheap also beat Jason 1017 or 0107 from Taiwan, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, I think he's Taiwanese. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's also a super impressive player. Underseeded. No, I'm kidding. The staff did a great job, alright? Please don't blame them, alright? But it looks like we've got Diao versus QMK coming up. And this promises to be a doozy.
I am really excited for this one. I mean, these two are quite literally like two of my favorite players to watch, and in terms of their styles, like what I most agree with in terms of decisions. I mean, both of them have such elegant and interesting ways of going about the game. Everything's just so meticulous about it too, so I'm kind of curious like what kind of mind games either of them is going to bring to the table. I'm curious what's actually going to happen in terms of like the mid game, because I think that's going to be huge. Both of them are going to try to spike each other out. Yeah.
No, I'm curious to see. I'm like very excited for this one because I'm curious to see how sort of these kind of play styles will clash, right? Both of them super great downstackers, but QMK more with efficiency and Diao more with speed. But I think that's where they mostly get their mileage in terms of the spiking department.
Right.
So we'll see how they both kind of handle that, or if they won't even send it all and then wait to make big clean spikes to sort of anticipate their opponent's downstacks. So very exciting.
Yeah. Well, this is actually something that I've talked to Firestorm about. We both. Okay, so the players are almost ready, but what I was about to say was basically like, I really do think the way that Diao and QMK play,
you got
that
it.
meticulousness, that timing, the downstack combos to be able to extend certain things, like even like back to back, you know, there's obviously limitations to that, but by incorporating DS combos, you can actually add a lot of punch to your hits. And I think both of these are exemplary players in terms of like examples of that kind of play. So really, like if they keep evolving, like I think personally, like players are just going to get faster and more efficient in how they see or their vision in terms of downstack combos. So I'm going to be very interested in seeing like how this match unfolds, because it's going to speak to the future of the community's meta.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, this is super exciting. For sure. Nice catch, by the way, on the Diao. I liked it. All right, you're improving. You're growing as a commentator.
I'm not just autopiloting, right? You know, like I'm thinking about my decisions here. My words.
See, it's not just in the game. All right, you have to think about your decisions on commentary too. All right. So, and Microblizz is getting there.
I'm trying, man. You know, gotta make improvements where you can.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, hey, usually the question is who is Diao, but right now, where is Diao? Never mind, he just showed up. All right, looks like we're about to get started here. Pretty excited. Again, I think we're both very excited. I have no idea how these two are gonna play against each other, like strategies they're gonna have going in. This is gonna be it's gonna be one big adaptation, and the question is who can adapt better.
Right. Yeah, and I was actually looking at like some of the replays between Blarg and Diao, for example, when they were playing their match, and there was definitely some adjustment on Diao's part, because in the middle of the match, what I saw was Blarg was actually ahead for a moment until like Diao just took like the next 4 or 5 matches, and I mean the adjustment is is so quick. It happens in a flurry. Like that's the kind of player Diao is. But from my sets with QMK, I know for a fact, a lot can happen throughout the match, especially longer sets. It's just kind of unfortunate with time constraints that we have to like make the first 2 sets a little shorter in this context. But I think like it's going to be pretty dynamic.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I can't see a way that this isn't going to be dynamic right now. And yeah, it looks like they're probably going to start with the warm-up in a second. And I'm also curious to see how that's going to go, whether they'll sort of hold back their real strategy in the warm-up or... Alright, looks like Diao's taking a little bit to set up here, but he's getting there. And yeah, very excited. Is there anything else you want to mention before we get going?
Not really. I mean, I'm just really excited about watching Umbrella Academy again.
Yeah.
New season's out, so I'm just like waiting to see what happens next. I'm not gonna lie about that. I mean, I'm excited for the tournament too, obviously.
And meanwhile, in his mind, like, I can't wait till this is over. I gotta see this new season, yo.
What happens when a new show comes out?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna be good. Just like this match, you know?
Show? Oh, okay. No spoilers. I haven't finished the episodes yet, but yes, this match.
Guys, spoil it for him, okay? Baname. Alright. Looks like we're actually getting started here. We got the cool stats. I don't know if QMK's sprint is correct. I'm kidding, Dazer, I'm kidding, okay? Don't flame me, alright? I'm making jokes. They're funny jokes. Okay. Dazer not laughing. Alright. I'm pretty sure the sprint is right. It's okay, it's alright. We'll look past it and look forward to this match coming up.
That is crazy to me that QMK's sprint time is 24 seconds. That doesn't seem right to me, does it?
Yeah. No, he has a 23 on Tetrio, I think, but it's crazy how he can be, I don't want to say so slow, but I mean, in comparison to all the other players, he really is a lot slower. And like seeing him still hold up even without the like crazy speed of a lot of other players, I think that's really just a testament to just how effective and efficient he is.
It is, and actually, like, I mean, that is one of the pieces of annoyance when I play QMK. Because, I mean, we've been experimenting with the back-to-back style for a while now, and I think, like, we've determined what the limitations of it are, or at the very least, like, the limitations that both of us have with that style of play. And so it's always infuriating when he decides to just opt out of the style in the middle of, like, our sets, because we typically play, like, sets first to 100 against each other, so there's a lot of changes to the meta in between. And it's the most annoying change when he goes back to that meticulous style, because I'm just getting like timed out of the wazoo.
That's a great way to put it. And I mean, I think we also definitely see that. Diao not playing super fast either, though. I think Diao, I know he used to play really, really fast in Versus, especially in like Jstris Cup East. I remember his speed going really crazy. But I like from what I've seen recently, he's seemed to, I don't want to say it's like slowing down a lot. But I think he's been opting to go for more like efficient and effective decisions as opposed to like striding.
Right. And I think, I mean, that's kind of happening here too. I mean, it's kind of crazy because both of them are playing slow. I feel like this is like chess level, you know, like GM style level of like King of Stackers play between these two right now. I mean, look, they're both playing at under 3 pieces per second, and they're just like watching each other, waiting for that down stack combo that Diao just sent over to QMK.
All right, I mean, King of Stackers a little different, you know. I've credit to all my King of Stackers players, right? That's a great game. But yeah, that's the warm up. But yeah, it's definitely like a big change. You can also see in the APM, right? Last set, a lot of 150, 160. this warm-up was only 110 on both sides. Again, maybe both players playing slow for the warm-up, but either way, right? Like very, very different sort of story compared to the last set. But yeah, looks like both players, again, commentators curse immediately, right? Both going so much faster than the warm-up game. Diao almost 4 PPS. And QMK
yeah,
also
I almost
playing,
feel like
right?
the warm-up is just like pointless, because I mean, it seems to me the common theme is like nobody tries during the warm-ups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So really, I think like what it is, at least to me, like the only other reason why I would want to do a warm-up is just to get the jitters out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. It is nice to sort of relax a little bit. But yeah, QMK using 2 eyepieces there, but is still able to get down. Good find there in terms of that down stack.
Oh,
but
man,
right back up.
combo.
That was a huge spike.
Yeah, oh man, QMK in a pickle.
Oh, dang. And yeah, Diao gonna take that one. Crazy stuff.
Look at that pacing too. Like he just proved us wrong. 3.8 piece per second. I think it was like 180 APM. Yeah, so he's keeping it up.
For sure. I mean, like Diao again, his down stacks and spikes are crazy, but his pressure is not half bad either. And
you can kind of get a gauge of like how much pressure he's actually sending based on the APM meter, because it starts off slow, but once he actually starts attacking, you see it pop right up. Like at the beginning of the game, he was operating at 90 APM. Look at where it is now.
Yeah, it's like a slow build-up, right? I think again he doesn't want to send too much clean because he knows exactly what QMK will do with it, right? Spike central.
That's so efficient, because you can become so situational with your sends by doing that. I mean, imagine conserving all of your energy until like the very last hit, you know, so you know it's gonna like go.
That's basically what he's doing right now. And you can also see that's, I mean, but as we talked about with the adaptations, right? QMK trying to play a lot faster now as well. Last game, oh, that's a rough misdrop. I don't think he's going to find his way out of that. And that 4 wide is just going to seal it. Wow.
Jeez.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah, some really crispy play coming over from Diao's side.
You caught yourself again. Good
Yeah,
work.
I did.
Good work. It's gonna take a little bit, but
yeah, it's gonna take a little bit. I didn't even realize before, so you know, this is some heavy level conditioning.
Oh yeah.
This would be like changing my keybinds at this point. I've been operating on those keybinds for 12 years now.
Wow.
This is what it feels like.
Damn. That is a long time.
Yeah, so gotta restructure. Ooh.
Yeah, QMK in like a little bit of a pickle. He has a little bit of cheese here, but Diao, I mean, QMK, that was a really hot down stack actually. Again, no surprise, right? This is QMK we're talking about. But juicy spike from Diao, but that down stack to save it, really good defense from QMK. Gosh, the way he times too, right? Like his defense in all aspects is just, I don't know. I'm salivating. That's what I'm saying here.
Yeah, it's interesting, like the way that he's optimized his survival. One of the things that has happened a lot more recently, though, is like misdrops over on QMK side. It's kind of baffling to me because he's always seemed to be like such a consistent player. It's not so much that it's a problem. It's preventing him from going for certain continuations that otherwise might have extended his combos.
I mean, to be fair, QMK, I feel like he's been pushing his speed a lot more lately in tournament, so the misdrops might be as a result of that as well.
Right, that is a good point. Yeah, because he has been trying to make strides to improve his speed. He knows, like, for example, what he needs to do is play a whole bunch of sprints, just lab it out, improve that top speed average, you know, get those numbers up. The issue is, I mean, I don't know if anybody else feels this way. I personally just find 40 line really boring, and I know QMK shares this sentiment, so it's always been a point of reluctance. And in terms of like improving his speed, this is like the main barrier, really.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm right with you. Maybe I'm biased because my sprint is really bad and I haven't PB'd in like 6 months, but I agree. I agree that like sprint can often be kind of tedious and boring to grind.
Right. Yeah. At least like when you get to those like top speeds, how much more work you have to do just to get that.
Oh god, just to
PB.
shave off like a quarter of a second.
Yeah,
Insane.
it's like diminishing returns, you know.
Oh yeah. But yeah, looks like both players.
Oh
Look at
no,
Diao's
that
field.
misdrop.
Wow. Oh, that was really unfortunate. Diao's field also so clean.
Yeah, QMK actually keeping it really efficient here. The only issue I'm seeing in his play is he's still being too passive in a lot of spots where I personally think he could be a little more proactive with his play. And especially like in some of the setups he's going, like one of the common themes I'm seeing is, you know, for example, like what I mean when I say empty singles, right? You know, just the stray line here and there. I feel like there's not so much that, like with QMK, because he's a king at downstack and he's still able to get a 3 combo at least whenever he's skimming through, you know, like his empty singles are empty like 3 or 4 combos.
Yeah, so we got a big problem here apparently, which is that we just played a 3-minute game and there was no hurry up garbage. And I don't think that's intentional.
Oh, interesting.
Uh,
Who is the one who made this room? Because I think
well, it wasn't me. Let it be known, it wasn't me. Okay.
Yeah, I think they want to use the maybe. Oh, the tournament preset isn't there anymore.
Wow, QMK is so friendly. No worries though, we can continue. I love this guy. I've never even spoken to QMK. He seems so nice though. Like,
Yeah, he's a real wholesome dude. Really good guy. In terms of hurry up garbage, though, how do you think that would change the matchup? Because we've had a lot of long games so far.
mm-hmm.
Do you think like it would make much of a difference? Because it's already 0-4 for in favor of Diao right now.
I think it could be important because again with QMK's like survival, it's definitely like a win condition he can play to, which is I want to extend the game long enough until hurry up garbage gets there and then spike and then like pay attention to when that starts, because that's something you can play to, right? But oh, days are unmuting.
Okay,
Let's go.
okay. Sorry. Something happened that for a reason we don't understand, the room like didn't have the hurry up garbage. I don't know why. Like that round went to 3 minutes, and it didn't went to hurry up. So we're gonna remake the room because it's the right thing to do for the players.
Are we keeping a score though?
Yes, I see. I mean, all the if the games were like the last game should be eliminated, but the other 3 no.
Okay. So 3-0 for Dio. All right, interesting.
I think that's a pretty generous, you know, setup since I mean they've been going through the entire match without hurry up.
Yeah, I think that's fair, honestly, because also like the other games wouldn't have gotten to hurry up, so it wouldn't have had an impact, even if like both players were playing to that win condition. But it is good to know.
Generally, I would say like just being a faster player, because you have reduced amount of room to work with. I would assume the person who can accomplish the most, and obviously who is also efficient. Like, say you were both doing you had the same pieces coming in, you were in the same position. The person who's playing hurry up, who is faster, naturally will have an advantage in the situation.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, looks like we're migrating to a new room, which is exciting. I love migration. Does Dio have the link? Oh, okay, he's in there. He's in there. We don't need the old room anymore, right? All right, all right. Exciting. This it's I'm curious to see whether also how this break might affect like the mentality or like
Yeah.
can QMK develop something new here in
I
this
was
time?
just thinking that too, because I mean, it might seem nitpicky or maybe just too meticulous in terms of like thinking about this thing. Maybe we're just overthinking it, but really, like the last time this happened that I remember made a huge impact on the player is, I think, the Tetrio tournament in the grand finals between Firestorm and Ajunba. We had that one huge delay in the middle, and it
I remember
completely
that.
changed the tides of the tournaments. It was actually ridiculous how much of an impact it made. So I'm kind of curious because stakes are not as high as the grand finals just yet, but this is, I think, a very pivotal matchup.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, that was crazy. That was really interesting. Yeah, what if QMK planned this, right? He saw the room settings before, and then he thought, okay, I will let Diao win 3 games, and now
He's being
he
pretty
will be
gentlemanly
uncertain.
about it too, because
True.
he did say that he was willing to give 0 to 4 to Diao.
Yeah. See, he's such a nice guy, dude. QMK he's so wholesome. I don't even know him. He's wholesome though. Let it be known.
TOs are speaking Spanish right now.
Yeah, no, I love how Dazer doesn't mute himself to us or anything. So you can just hear him just go off in Spanish. It's like my favorite. I love it.
Do you ever go to like a friend's house who, like, you know, their family speaks another language and they're like yelling at each other in their
love
language?
That's so
Or, like-
funny. Yeah, like, oh, I didn't sign up for this. I don't know what you guys are saying. I know that
Ooh.
feeling.
Yeah, not my play is just gonna back into this wall. Yep, now
Yeah.
I'm a wall power.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, I think they're checking whether it has solid garbage. Technical difficulties here. Beep boop beep beep, but wait, Diao is the host?
Production team sweating bullets right now.
Diao carrying production right now? That's what I like to see. Come on, Dazer, get it together, man. Nah, I'm messing. All right, I'm excited. It looks like we're getting right back into it. All right, I think this isn't warm up, so it looks like they're getting right back into it. Diao's got a really nice field here, but QMK's got a bit of cheese here. Oh, but Diao's got the misdrops, so both of them working with their own problems here. You're also seeing this, right?
Yeah. What I was watching was that down stack combo Diao went for.
Yeah, that was crazy, right?
Yeah. The consistency of it is always baffling.
You're getting interrupted by Dazer, but I don't think they can hear Dazer.
Yeah, I don't think so
It's
either.
okay. It's okay. You can keep going.
I generally just ignore him these days. It's getting a lot easier to do that.
Yo! Shots. Look, the pause did it. The pause did it. Diao running out of steam. QMK taking a game here. Keeping his head in the game right now. Yo, QMK's field is so clean. This down. Oh, okay. I thought there might be a little more to that down stack. Still really nice though.
Yeah, I was looking at his screen, and I thought I was actually looking at Diao's side, like how clean that combo was, because that's so characteristic of his play.
Yeah, no, but they're both just so good at that. They're both so good. Mind-boggling stuff. But Diao's got a bit of a messy field, but looks like I don't think QMK can punish.
Oh,
that
interesting.
Really. Oh, that
QMK
was
was a 3 wide. Yeah, that's one of the most unfortunate things about setting up for a combo. Even if it's no matter what it is, like 2 to 4 wide, like whatever combo it is that you're setting up, you always want to make sure the timing's correct on it, because
if not,
one thing you always want to happen is to punish that. If you're not punishing that, then your opponent will feel free to go for a 4 wide at any time. In this case, it was a 3 wide, which is fine. It's just he wasn't able to get it off, so essentially what it was a free game for Diao, and that's not what you want.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, he only got like a 5 combo or so out of that, and like Diao knows how to be a lot more efficient than that, especially because QMK was already at the top of his field. So that's like,
you gotta it's
very two-sided.
It's unfortunate to like give it up. I think like there's almost a reluctance into. Oh no, QMK with that 6.
That's
that
rough.
game wasn't so good. Yeah. But there's almost like a general sense, like if you're going for a 4 wide, you better stack up to the very top for it. Obviously, because like it's a big investment of your time if it doesn't work out, and it could be a momentum shifter for your opponent and the game. Like if you were in a position to 4 wide, then you should ideally be in the lead, and you're just trying to extend it or finish the game off.
Yeah, it's just like a way to punish your opponent, right?
Yeah,
QMK just has to put a little bit more pressure on. He's so close. Diaz was like at the top of the screen for so long there, but QMK not finding enough damage that he could deal.
Oh, okay. These are really nice stacks that are coming in from Diao. I love how like centered he's being.
Centered in what way?
Centered in the sense like, the natural continuation to the way that he's playing is to open up the field for a center 4 wide continuation. Like, I think that's beautiful, because one of the things that I think is going to evolve in the meta is just the way that players are able to extend their combos. And one of the ways to do that is to maintain center in your stacks. That way, like, you're never caught in a vulnerable spot. There's always some kind of continuation that you can follow up on from this position. So I think like it's incredibly valuable to learn.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I definitely get what you mean there. But this has been very back and forth, this game, where one person's at the top and then can't quite top out the other person, and then the other person's back at the top. But no real like decisive killers yet. In this game, QMK has got a bit of a rough stack. Never mind. He's out of there. He's good, probably.
Yeah, these can be the most taxing mentally in terms of like the kind of matches that you can go for. Because, I mean, you know who we're talking about right now. 2 of the best down stackers in the world. 2 of the best players who's able to like find such intricate and creative ways to get out of situations. So naturally, like, you'll want a big spike on both of them, but at the same time, neither of them, they've got this survival instinct about them. Never say die.
Speaking of which, how are they both alive right now?
This is exactly what happens. Look, like there's almost like no difference to when there was hurry up and when there is. Both of them still surviving everything. Oh, Diao might have a little issue here. QMK,
wow! QMK gets there somehow. Oh my lord. That was like his last-ditch effort. It was who gets the T first, and it was QMK. And hey, I mean, I know you said playing the hurry up card. Okay,
Yeah.
Wow, that was rough.
I was actually kind of hoping for hurry up garbage rounds for like the entirety of this match, but yeah, like those quick ones, they don't feel so good when it happens.
Yeah, because it's usually like a big mistake on one's end.
Yeah, I mean, especially after a hurry up match too. But okay, QMK responds in kind. Pretty quick game here. They're evened up too.
I mean, plus 4 to Diao.
Okay, so it isn't adjusted.
Yeah, it's not equal, I think. Diao plus 3 only. not accepting the full offer of QMK for the +4. Interesting. I respect the decision though. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's the honorable thing to do. I think in a situation where like nobody's at fault really.
Yeah. Except
you know,
the tournament organizers. No, I'm messing, guys. Don't flame Dazer. He puts so much work into these. All right, give him some love.
Yeah, the production value has actually gone up quite a bit ever since like the beginning of the year. He's been taking some tips from previous tournaments that have been run.
Yeah, no, like Dazer has been improving a lot. I mean, maybe the brackets were still out 30 minutes late, but I mean, hey, what can you do? But yeah, and I mean, they're always improving, right? And just like players, just like commentators, right?
Oh my god!
Wow. Oh my god! What did you see? How many like combos that were?
It was quite a bit. I mean, I'm guessing probably 9, and there was like T-spin doubles and yeah.
Jesus, that was insane. Wow.
Yeah, that's the future right there.
Yeah,
I think
that's how you're gonna win games.
If you can try to like set up those situations continuously, then I think like it could actually veer towards how people in Han game actually set up. Except like more veiled attempts at tricking your opponent into like, what am I gonna do next? Kind of thing.
But can you talk more about that? I don't know how many people are familiar with like the Han game meta, so.
So Han game.
To hear about that.
It's very much like Tetranet 2, for example.
Great game.
Randomizer is really weird in that like it's not memorizable like it is in Guideline Tetris, but essentially what it was like Swiss cheese garbage for every single send, and because of that, like one of the main things, also because they didn't reward T-spin doubles, so like everybody just went for 2 wides or 3 wides. I think the future is probably going to be like that, except like you're gonna mask it underneath a whole bunch of prophecy downstack combos and a whole bunch of 4 wides and all that stuff.
Dang, and that's it. It looks like really unfortunate, sad misdrops. Also, that looks like it was +4 in the end, but.
Oh, it's not yet. Okay,
yeah,
so they still have one more, but I think they're both confused about which
score to go from. Yeah.
So I know QMK wanted the 4 to be delivered to Diao, but Diao only wanted 3.
The question is whether he's +3 or +4, right?
Okay,
I guess.
so what we're
Player's
getting
choice, right?
Yeah, they got +4 for this game. We were operating under the assumption it was +3.
Okay,
yeah,
so
makes
players
sense to let the players choose.
both players decide that the score was +4 for Diao. Both players decide to count the last round, so that's it. And they can listen me. They are listening to right now.
Yeah.
Not the respect being tossed around between the 2 players.
Yeah, I don't see QMK being grimy and saying like, no, actually, I want the 9-3, and then probably still losing. So
yes,
he's not that guy.
So the score is gonna be 10-3. Okay. Okay, next. Let's go for the next match. Shall we?
Speaking of next match, I'm curious what's coming up. Is it Blarg versus Circulation? Could that be it? Could I be right for once?
No. They're not even in the same bracket, dude.
What? Blarg and Circu? Look, in losers. It's there. I am right. I am correct. Let's go.
Shoot. Dang it.
That's
I
right.
forgot. I didn't refresh the page.
That's
all right.
That's
all right. That's my B. That's my B. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It happens. It happens.
All right. You're right. You're right.
Aren't these 2 good friends too?
Circu and Blarg?
Yeah, I think so, right?
I have no idea.
I could be wrong.
I guess so.
Could
Yeah.
be mistaken. Quote
It
from
always makes
Blarg.
the matchup a lot more interesting. If they're good friends, likely they've been playing each other too, which might change the matchup. It's always like
Blarg-
interesting to see like what bag of tricks that you can possibly use on somebody that you play regularly, right? Because they know all your tricks. It's just, you got to mix it up and like, put all your tricks into a bag like the randomizer, shake it about, and then just toss it to your opponent. Hope it works out this time, even though they like know what's up.
Oh yeah. No, it's always super interesting. And yeah, Blarg confirming they almost play every day. So I'm excited. Wait, did these two play earlier? No, they didn't. I don't think this is the first time they're playing, right? In this tournament?
In this tournament, yeah, it should be. I mean, unless they met on winner's side, which
I don't think that's the case. I'm pretty sure.
Circulation versus Circulation played QMK en route to the top 8, and Blarg was like on the other end of the bracket.
Yeah. No, these guys have done. I think they played Matchmaking Central doubles together. Circu has an alt called BM999. So I mean, yeah, these two very close. Looks like Blarg won a Jstris Cup apparently. Didn't know that. But,
did he really?
I feel like that could be wrong. I don't have any evidence. I could be wrong. All right, looks like this is a warm up. Oh, 2 warm ups. Oh, that was a quick warm up. 4.46 PPS from Blarg. Damn. Damn, okay, Blarg, don't call me stupid, alright? I see you in the chat, okay? Blame the overlay that I'm shown, okay? This isn't me, okay? Blarg is just a bully. I'm messing, alright? Don't worry about this. Alright, but Blarg looking very convincing in these warm-ups is all I gotta say. So we'll see how Circu's gonna react to this kind of play here, but
You mind sending me the room link? Because
it's the same room as before. I can send it to you.
I left it, but I've just been like watching the Discord stream.
Gotcha. It's in staff chat, if you need.
Sick. Thank you, sir.
Staff chat reveal, by the way.
Okie dokie.
All right.
They're
They're getting started here. Circu already a misdrop. Might be a little nervous here, playing against his big buddy here, but
his big buddy.
his big buddy.
That sounds so patronizing the way
That
you say
does
it.
sound so. I'm sorry. Okay, that's my bad. But yeah, Circu. Yeah, Circu obviously super impressive player. I mean, if you look at his Tetris resume, right? There's a lot of crazy achievements. But the dominant player right now, I would say, without a doubt, is Blarg.
Yeah.
Circu has a nice downstack here. I like that timing from him, Seeing,
I
know
think
this
he
is
just
gonna
stumbled
spike
over
him.
the piece, but we'll give that one to him. Yeah, the timing.
Could be. Well, yeah, we'll give him the timing. We'll give it to him. He's definitely good enough to employ timing as well. So, yeah, you get credit, Circu. All right, you're welcome. You can thank us later. But yeah, either way, looks like Blarg. I know he had a lot of sort of opening pressure in a lot of these games, but I was gonna say he's slowing down a little bit, but he's not. I'm wrong. He's not slowing down. He's keeping up the pressure. Ooh, Circu, unfortunate misdrops, it looks like. Circu just kind of struggling
Yeah,
right now.
be rotating his piece a little bit, catch a break for himself. Buy some time.
Really unfortunate. Oh, Blarg with a couple misdrops this game. We'll see if Circu can punish.
Man, that skin is a misdrop.
Yo!
I just don't like it at all.
Chill! Yo! That skin is a misdrop. Holy shit.
I'm sorry to the creator of this skin. I mean, it's just, it doesn't look good. Not
It's
to
not
me.
that bad. Yo. I mean, it's not the most. Okay, it's not. It's not my favorite or anything, but like, yo. Relax, yo. We're on commentary, alright? Keep this for the DMs later, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Might be.
Yeah, either way, the skin does seem to work. Given the results.
Yeah, I'm just having a hard time seeing it, because, I mean, it's...
You mean the little badgers? I don't mind them. They're not bad.
Oh, I thought they were rats.
They're bad. It's because Jez is the badger, right? Jezebek?
Okay,
Pretty
it makes
sure.
more sense. Yeah,
Pretty
now that I
sure,
understand the lore,
Who would make a rat skin? I don't know.
I don't know.
That
was what I was
sounds.
confused about.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, Blarg? Really? I mean, like, demonstrating his speed and pressure, you know? And Circu's just having a lot of trouble kind of dealing with it. Circu also, these misdrops aren't helpful. Right
Yeah,
now.
he's just going for some extensions that don't really follow up with like the Q. So he's getting caught in situations where, you know, Blarg is already attacking him, and he's not really showing any signs of slowing down. Like, look how fast he's been playing throughout the entire set. He's able to keep up the pressure. Right now, like, Circulation's job is really just like try to survive it for a better position, because we both know like he's able to find down stack combos to be able to ooze out the win. The problem is he's not given the opportunity to find them. Like, he's stumbling a little bit with some inoptimal setups for his down stack combo in a lot of spots where he should probably just like quickly get back down to a better position. I think he's spending way too much time on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I definitely see where you're coming from. Gotta point out, by the way, Blarg in the Jstris chat, quote, Blizz, you don't look good either. So, I just thought, you know, that might be something to note. See, maybe you're helping his mentality right now. You're welcome,
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
yeah, it seems very, very
Definitely
strong
has to
right now.
stream up right now. So,
Yeah.
Dang. But, yeah, either way, Blarg a little cheesed up right now. So, but Circu, that misdrop, yeah, you won't be able to punish that, unfortunately. Yeah, he's having trouble here, Circu. But it looks like he's gonna be able to escape this at least. Which is good, you know? I like long, interesting games. They're my favorite. I know they aren't your favorite because you're looking forward to watching that anime later, but that's okay.
Oh no, I mean, I do like long games, but I mean, you know, there comes to a limit. Like, I dream of a day where everybody's just, you know, got a counter for everything. Like, the way that a lot of people don't have counters for 4-wides at the moment, I think like that'll just be like, you know, a thing of the past eventually. One of the things that is so interesting to me, like, is you know, like how theoretically Tetris can last forever. Like, what if we could do like a multiplayer version of that, where, you know, you have a counter for everything, and because of that, like, if you have no hurry up garbage, conceivably, if both of you make like optimal decisions throughout the entire way through, then I mean, you know, the game is just gonna last forever.
I feel like that in theory makes sense, but in practice, like, there's
It's
gonna
a lot harder
eventually
to do
be
in
mid-game adaptation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see right now, anyways, a meta coming anytime soon where you wait for hurry-up garbage because you're perfectly countering everything, and then it's basically
not
luck.
like if you're going to hurry up garbage. Like, what I meant is, like, you could conceivably play forever.
Yeah, that's
without
what
the
I'm
hurry up garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening anytime soon. Maybe that's just me, though, you know? Maybe my brain is too small to comprehend the top level.
You never know. I mean, the way that the game has evolved, even in the past couple months, has been really interesting. Like, a lot of players getting like better and better in a number of different aspects of the game, and I think that's going to be like the theme moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like, Tetris is always evolving, right? So I'm just curious to see how it's gonna continue to evolve. Can Circu take a game? Let's go, Circu. You got this. Blarg, a little nervous right now. finds the down stack. Oh, Circu getting spiked so high. But he's out. He's out. Circu's out right now. Oh, Blarg misdropping the T as well. So Circu's chance maybe. Blarg a pretty messy field, but he's out. Ah, he's not out. He's not out. He's out. He's out. For the most part, he's out. But yeah, this is, again, shaping up to be one of the longer games. Circu really sort of picking up the pace now, making the games a lot more competitive. Maybe like getting a lot less nervous. Maybe Blarg getting nervous. Maybe us talking about Blarg is getting him nervous because he has the stream up, you know? So
it's possible. Blarg doesn't seem like that kind of guy to me. Like
he really doesn't. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, like I mean, just from the fact that he's listening in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, if this match actually mattered to him, I mean, I can't imagine like to a player who's trying to like win it seriously would have the stream up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, this is also against one of his best friends, right? So, oh, that's a 4 wide right there. Yep, that's a 4 wide right there. Circu has nothing right now to counter.
Oh boy. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh man.
Just dang. Destroying Circu right now a little bit. That is unfortunate. But either way, yeah, Circu is just having a lot of trouble finding his footing, I think, against Blarg's pressure, and he's not ready sort of for Blarg's.
Yeah, well, I kind of see like what he's trying to do, but you know, like the piece placements is not really favorable to what his game plan I think is. I mean, he's really trying to like be optimal and trying to find those downstack combos, but he's just not able to find like good ones to be able to like get him out of certain situations. He's getting stuck into them actually by overcommitting, and this is causing him problems down the line because I don't know if it's indecision, but he's definitely slowing down in these spots, and again, like getting caught like by the pressure that comes up when he is.
Yeah, that's definitely like what's going on right now for sure. And yeah, a lot of the time also kind of sort of messy solutions to things. But now Blarg a little bit of cheese here on his field, so we'll see if Circu can somehow punish. But it looks like Blarg will maybe be the one punishing. Circu also hesitating. Yeah, really unfortunate.
Yeah, he just couldn't find it quickly enough. I mean, there was only 2 lines separating him from the garbage underneath, and really, you know, like, you don't have to go for anything complex, but I think that might actually be the theme here.
Dang, this is really sad way.
Yeah, oh man.
Poor circulation.
Yeah, solid play by Blarg though.
Yeah, Blarg very impressive. Definitely showing why he's a pro. Yeah, Circu I think kind of sad, but let's see what Blarg can do in this bracket. I'm excited to see what they can bring. Are we running losers? It's quarters, or are we running winners? Probably quarters, right? All right. So looks like since Wumbo dropped, I think our next match is gonna be Cheap versus is it QMK or is it? I think it's pretty sure it's Vince. Could be wrong.
Hold on, I want to refresh my.
Yeah,
my
I gotta
battle
check the bracket
points.
right now. Yeah, I know. That's where I'm at. Oh yeah, Discord stream. We're professional commentators. QMK versus Cheap, it looks like. Yeah, this is bound to be interesting. I haven't seen these two play a lot actually, if at all. Have you?
Blarg versus Vince or QMK versus
QMK versus Cheap.
They've definitely played before.
Oh yeah, but I like recently or
I don't know if it was recent, like how close you think recent is, but they've definitely played within the past couple months.
All right, I didn't know actually, but that makes sense. So what do you want to say about their styles of play? Like, what do you think the win condition is for Cheap?
I mean, I know we give TMK a lot of slack for being a slow player, but honestly, like I think in terms of speed, he's actually coming in on his own. In terms of like average piece per second, I imagine it's somewhere upwards of 3 now. That he can maintain consistently while being able to maintain his efficiency. And there are actually a lot of games where he's actually been able to go 3.7 and up.
Which is crazy,
one of the things that I think Cheap is going to have trouble with is probably maintaining pressure against QMK such that he can take up the win. But both of them have such similar styles. In the past, this has been more of an issue for Cheap in terms of keeping up. But in this case, I mean, both of them have made strides in terms of their improvement and their approach to the game. I know QMK is a lot faster pace with a lot of his opponents these days, but maybe he'll catch himself a break with this one and take it a little slower and go back to roots in preparation for future games against other opponents that he might play if he can get through this one. Cheap, I think, is just going to, I imagine, try to play it safe and go for heavy downstack combos.
Yeah, that's how I see it as well. But yeah, I'm curious to see how like Cheap does against a player like QMK, because I feel like whenever I see him play, it's usually against like very high pressure players, as opposed to like very downstack heavy players. So I'm curious to see sort of how he does in a matchup like this. But I think we're getting started in a second. Yeah. Cheap versus QMK. Alright, TKI starts from both. QMK taking the first sort of spike of damage and using that instantly, spiking it right back.
Yeah,
Cheap
just a really bad misdrop at the wrong moment by Cheap. He's gonna really want to be careful about the PCs that he's sending to, because QMK has gotten a lot better at sending those back in one huge spike. Oh man, yeah, and already we're kind of seeing the theme of this matchup, like Cheap not able to follow QMK or the speed of the match, really.
Yeah, I mean, like, in terms of speed, he's definitely keeping up, but I mean, QMK is just spiking at the right time, and he's like, when Blarg is weakest, right? It's like a vulture going after his prey, right? Like,
right. And this is one of the things that I think players need to keep in mind when they're playing their opponents, and, like, keeping a good track of where the game is going at all times, because that's going to determine what kind of sends that you want, what kind of stacks you want to prepare for. One of the things that I think Cheap is getting caught from especially is just in moments where he should be, like in this situation, for example, like he's going for the wrong down stacks, in my opinion. A little too slow, and just the fact that he got to that position and he's not trying to speed himself out, I think is problematic. He's gonna have to like pick up the pace a little bit, or at the very least like not set up for situations like that. Wants to keep his stack open with something to send at all times.
Yeah, for sure. And hey, he's taking that game right there. QMK having trouble finding that down stack, it looks like. I didn't see whether he missed that, I'll be honest. Kind of hard to follow when both players are playing so fast. But QMK has got a pretty clean field. Cheap I'm actually lagging right now. You got this. Come on, game. There you go. It's caught up. I promise. All right, I'm back. So it looks like QMK really clean garbage here. We'll see how he's gonna spike. Cheap, really good cancel there as well on that send. And yeah, QMK building up a lot. Ooh, that's a misdrop. That is a misdrop right there. But he gets out of it so nicely.
Cleanup. Yeah, full screen
Yeah.
spike return from that too.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
Ooh,
But,
okay, makes the compromise over there with the down stack a little bit just to get to a better position. Yeah, QMK just trying to keep it clean. He's not looking to take any risks because honestly, like Cheap is one of those reactionary kind of players who just like kind of catch you off guard with his down stack combos. So you typically like with these kind of players who relish in players' mistakes, you kind of like want to just like reduce the amount that you make. Yeah, don't go for any real risks. I mean, there's no real need because Cheap, I don't believe is going to try to push his position.
That's fair. So you just like playing a position heavy game is like the answer here, you think, for QMK?
I think so, especially since, you know, I think in terms of fundamentals, QMK probably has like a more solid palette, a more diverse skill set as well. So in this case, like QMK can kind of like take it a little bit easy because I think like one of the things that Cheap lacks is just like some kind of like spiking game that could threaten QMK's defense. As long as you don't threaten QMK's defense, like he's comfortable. He's feeling comfortable. He'll go with like the KG style. It's what feels most safe and most at home for him.
It's true. It really like does let QMK sort of play to his strengths. But
yeah, it's honestly like the way that he thinks the game should be played. You know, intricate setups, downstack heavy combos.
Oh dang, Cheap not able to get out of that. That's rough. But yeah, gonna take that round. Still anyone's game though. I mean, Cheap just really has to find the sort of extra power, and like he needs to find the mistake from QMK, and the mistake just isn't happening. So he's having trouble kind of getting a punish off.
Yeah, and I mean it's also very rare for QMK to have a misdrop.
Mistakes, yeah.
Yeah, just to make the mistake, and also a mistake that QMK wouldn't be able to fix is also just as rare.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, QMK. Oh, he could have built up a 4 wide there. Cheap wasn't necessarily in the best spot, but I think it might have been a good decision to opt out of it. Again, doesn't have to take any unnecessary risks and just push position. And I think he's doing a great job with that right now. Anyways. Yeah, Cheap doing a good job of kind of staying in it, but...
Oh, yeah, that misdrop
that's a rough stack, though.
He tried to go for a T-spin triple and messed up the spin, so he's playing from behind right now, but he's fixed up really nicely.
Yeah, he's back in it for sure.
Oh, okay. These are dangerous spots, I think, because he's going to have to like expend some of his important pieces. Some of the most important pieces to keep in mind is the I piece, T piece. Like, you don't want to be using these pieces often, unless like you're trying to survive a situation.
And that's what QMK is trying to make him do right now, right? Put him in a situation where he has to expend his resources.
It's fine if you're able to get down quickly enough, but if you're not getting down, then you're just surviving. And those pieces, I think, are most pivotal because they allow you to optimize your stack more towards attacks. Like those are like pieces that attacks depend on heavily in a lot of different spots.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I mean, how do you attack without an I and a T, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Unless you find some crazy combo, but
yeah,
that's a lot harder.
You know, this goes back to like what we were saying. The evolution of Tetris might be, you know, towards downstack combos because, I mean, just imagine you don't have any other piece to use, but you know, like every piece can be the piece that you can use if you can optimize towards downstacking.
The year is 20 TT. Everyone uses downstacks. Yeah, QMK getting a second win during the hurry-up phase. He hasn't lost in the hurry-up phase yet, which I think is an interesting statistic. Also against Diao, he won the game that went to hurry-up, or that went deep into hurry-up. So I wonder if like he's playing towards that, or maybe if his like game plan, especially for this set, is kind of helping with that. Where if he has the better position going into the end game, he can sort of use that position to obtain an advantage. You know, if he can't find like a safe punish, then that's a good opportunity to have the upper hand in. But
it's okay. These are some really nice down stacks from circulation or cheap. Sorry.
Is this the new Diao? I mean Zhao? I mean, yeah.
Oh no! Oh man, it's happening all over again, just with a different person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheap's in a good spot though.
He is in a good spot. Just like in these kind of spots, like I don't ever feel like
so fast.
QMK
Yeah, you're
because
never safe because he can always find an attack out of nowhere. Got out of that really nicely though. QMK's stack also a little messy, and there's a lot of cheese, so I wonder if Cheap can punish. Oh, he's so close.
Okay.
Cheap find one attack.
Oh, this could be it. Oh no,
Oh,
no.
he's out.
Yeah,
I mean,
QMK had way too much time. Yeah, the garbage wasn't messy enough for it to.
good idea. Oh, Cheap didn't take the eye out of hold. He just wanted to tank. A little greedy.
Too consistent. Like, you know, I think like this is a game of mix-ups, honestly. Like, you know, how quickly can you mix up your opponents and then set up the spike position? Like in this position, you know, obviously QMK is gonna try to top out Cheap with like everything he's got, and just the fraction of situations or the percentage of situations where Cheap is able to do that compared to QMK, there's like a huge discrepancy here.
Yeah. Like QMK is definitely the one who's like driving the pace, which is also like very rare for QMK, right? Where usually you see him, he's the one who's reacting to the garbage. Usually he's the one who's following. But the one with the opportunities here is QMK. For sure.
Okay.
But yeah,
Cheap
in a rough
is
spot.
actually doing a really good job in this one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I like the way that he played that. There was a lot of back-to-backs, mixing up with downstack combos in between, setting up the messy board on QMK's side. Like this is actually like the game plan that I associate as like the one that works most against QMK, especially when he's playing like this. You know, in terms of like the mind games, you really got to play this way to be able to follow. And I think like in that situation, Cheap played it perfectly. He's just gonna have to do that like another 10 times.
Yeah. And can he do that is the question.
Right. The consistency at which he's able to do that is in question right now, because he really needs to like, you know, start making moves.
Yeah, for sure.
His team is already slipping away from his fingers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is rough. He's not out yet though. There you go. Yeah, QMK looking like he's gonna take this. You know, pretty convincing lead, pretty convincing gameplay. Cheap with another misdrop.
Yeah, Cheap. Okay, some
Good fix,
misdrops
though.
there. I like it almost seems like he just ran out of air after that misdrop too. There was like a little bit of a pause. We'll kind of see like if he can get out of this. Oh, nice down
He's
stack.
out.
He's got a
That was
follow up
really
too.
clean.
Yeah, I thought
That
he
was
might have
really
given up, but he's going strong now. He's just gotta like be careful about his position here, maintain his parity. Okay, nice. Yeah, QMK keeping an even stack over there. Perfect for stacking for back-to-back combos.
Oh, I was gonna say a little 4-wide there, but yeah. Oh, Cheap might be out. Oh, I think that's a misdrop as well. But it would have been tough to get out either way. I don't think he could have done that as well. But either way, oh, interesting. Oh, that's that PC garbage. Now QMK's got a big opportunity to spike this back.
Dude, and I kind of saw the hesitation from Cheap's side too. He was like,
Yeah, he's like, should I do this?
Yeah, is it a good
"Run
idea?
it. Let's go.
Yeah. Didn't end up punishing him, but typically like especially since I'm pretty sure QMK was waiting on it too. Like there was like just a moment where I feel like they were having a staring contest of each other.
I'm wondering if this is gonna be I don't know how much you know about chess, but in there's a lot of openers where you can sort of accept or decline like certain sacrifices and such.
Okay. So
And
like
I'm wondering if like PC will
then...
eventually become like that, right? Where like sometimes you see the PC, but maybe, you know, I like clean garbage. Maybe I want to spike this back.
That's actually like how I've been viewing the PC, because you know it's so easy to do a PC opening game now. Like you have the choice whether or not you want to go for it. Really, I mean, you honestly do if you have control over like the opening, 10 pieces, like you have the opening optimized, then you can make your decisions. I do think, I mean, we're already there in that sense in terms of PC choices. We've seen a lot of people, for example, opt out of using it. Because, like, especially when your opponent is watching for it, it becomes a little bit of a risk that I always like make my final checks for in terms of the player's ability. So what's their average piece per second? Like, what's their spiking power, their downstacking vision? All of these things, I think most players should keep track of to make that kind of decision. Like, how aware are they, especially? You always want it to be a surprise, right?
Yeah. Because if you're expecting a PC, right, then, ooh, you got something coming to you. It's not going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it really is optimizing, your opponent's garbage in your favor. I mean, why do the work when you can get your opponent to do it for you? It's kind of like, I call it the Tom Sawyer of Tetris. Like Tom Sawyering your opponents.
Oh, that miss drop is so sad. But yeah, QMK gonna take that. Take the set. Pretty convincing. Yeah. Good for him. Well played. To Cheap as well. Very impressive showing. 5th place, that's pretty dang impressive for Cheap, I think. So good for him. Next up, we have Blarg versus Vince HD, I think. I think this is going to be really interesting because it's kind of the opposite of what we saw for Blarg's last match, where Circu was really trying to find those down stacks like you were talking about. I think Vince is going to be more about putting on pressure, and I think Blarg also tends to be like a very pressure-heavy player. So I'm curious to see how those two things are going to interact, or how these two are going to play against each other. What do you think?
I think I'm getting worse at filtering Dazer. That was a flurry of stuff.
Yup, that was a flurry of stuff. It's really hard, I'm going to be honest.
Like, I think we've been getting better at it, but it's like, that's always like just, like, he forgot to mute himself. Yeah, but the matches have been like really interesting so far. Especially like now that I think we're like almost in top 4, or we are in top 4 now.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost in top 4. I think this is loser gets 5th, right? But yeah, we're coming up on top 4. Winner plays against QMK. This is when it gets real. So
Vince is versus Blarg at the moment? Yes,
that's right.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Both of them are pretty much speedsters, in my opinion. The sprints don't really play a factor in this. I think both of them play with the same multiplayer pace, and both of them are really good at both the back-to-back strings that, mount pressure on your opponents, and also just like in general, down stacking is going to be, in my opinion, pretty simple in this sense, unless like Vince tries to go for down stack combos. Like in terms of his survival, it's going to come up. If that comes up a lot, which I'm kind of expecting in the teeter-totter in the back-to-back war, it's going to be an interesting mix.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like these games could either go very quickly. I think a lot could be decided in the openings and such. But I also think that if it gets to the mid-game, like, we could see some really unique interactions that we wouldn't see a lot between other players.
Right. Yeah, and I do think the mid game is probably where, in terms of these two players, that's where they most need to optimize. So it's going to be interesting to see them competing against one another and see what like they can learn and what they can really exploit. How much of it they can exploit and get out of their stacks, I think is going to be incredibly important in this matchup. Like both players are relatively fast, so really like this is going to be an efficiency battle. Who's got it, and how long can they keep it together?
Yeah, for sure. He is in the room. Mm-hmm. There you go. Putting Dazer in his place is one of my favorite things. I'm such an ass. Okay. But either way, this promises to be a good set. I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited. It's gonna be good. I'm predicting Vince, but if Blarg can keep up sort of the pressure he was putting up against Circu, then Vince might have a tough time.
Yeah, I think both of them could take it, honestly. Like, you know, these are both blossoming Tetris players. Like, a few more years if they keep working at it, they're already at the top
best, yeah.
Yeah, they're already top 10 players at this point, and I mean, both of them, I think they're like 17 and 15. Still lots of improvement, still lots of room.
So many pro young players, you know? I'm 19 and I feel old. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just speaks to like, you know, a lot of players getting into the game start off young, and I think like this is really healthy for the community. Like, there's gonna have to be players at the top level to replace the ones that, you know, end up leaving eventually. You know, the more elderly ones of us eventually have to call it quits at some points.
The old folks, yeah.
yeah, and I mean, it is really optimistic to see that there are players coming into the game like Blarg and Vince, you know, that they're going to carry the torch potentially one day and usher in the new generation after them.
Yeah. Dang. That hits hard, you know. I wasn't ready for that, you know. I was just here to commentate a Tetris tournament. Now we're getting into the passing of the generational torch.
Well, right, I mean, think about it in this sense, like, especially for Vince, obviously, you know, as the sprint world record holder, he's got a soft spot for me. Like, I got a soft spot for him. And just the fact that he accomplished that when he was 15, dude, you know, like, what my time when I was 15 was? It was like 30.30, I think. That was my time. And now...
That's
not bad, but in comparison, I mean, just like the world record holder keeps getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
Before me, it was, I think, a Lapsalap or Apocalypse, and both of them were like well in their 20s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then,
everyone's getting faster.
Faster at a younger age, too. I mean, you know, they're getting better at a younger age. And I mean, that, I think, is maybe a result of the resources we have out there. But yeah, I mean, it's never been a better time to become a Tetris player than now. And the sooner you start, like, the more acclimated your brain can actually become to the game. This is my theory.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense too, right? Given like what studies say about like learning languages at a young age. It's like the brain is basically riper for learning when you're young. And people decided, you know what? I don't want to learn a language. I want to learn Tetris. And here we are,
like
watching these wonders of nature
stuff, right?
Yeah. Crazy. But
Blarg. Yeah, he's
having a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he's kind of getting like caught up in his down stacks without good follow-ups. This is like the same problem that Cheap.
Yeah.
Cheap had earlier.
This is the new thing. This is the new DAO. All right. This is.
I'm gonna try not to make that the case, but like this is the same situation with Blarg and Vince in contrast to QMK and Cheap. This is like the faster version of that, where, you know, they're gonna try to like capitalize on each other's mistakes, but Blarg at the moment, I think, is having some issues with with his down stack continuations, where like the follow ups aren't so clean. It's gonna have to like rethink like his positioning in some places, because I think like he's very back to back heavy. That can be like a double-edged sword if he's not able to maintain it and he misdrops along the way.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, back-to-back pressure worked pretty nicely in that game 1. I mean, that was what, 10 seconds? Not even. So, I mean, if he could just overwhelm Vince with that sort of pressure,
oh
then
yeah, okay,
downstacking won't even come into play.
As I say that too, he actually had a bunch of good downstacks that he just pulled.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, maybe his vision, commentator's curse. That's
yeah, it's looking really crisp right now. Vince actually on the ropes here.
A little bit, right? Which is surprising, because usually Vince is the one, right, who's saying, I will use my insane speed and put you on the ropes, right? But now his two opponents, right, Firestorm and now Blarg.
It's the idea, but I think, something that Vince needs to optimize more is maybe his attacking power. Like, some of his stacks are decent, but there's too many gaps in between for him to fully exploit his speed in that way. But, I mean, once he does optimize that, he's going to be, like, a really big threat. At the moment, like, he's already
a dang big threat. But...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He can optimize it even further. Like, I think he's used to playing behind because he likes to send a whole lot of garbage. And like I said, that can be a double-edged sword sometimes. So if you send your opponent too much garbage, then they'll naturally, like, especially if they're employing a lot of timing. Exactly. Right? Like Tom Sawyering your opponent such that you don't have to do any work yourself. This really definitely isn't that case because Blarg puts in the work, but... it is one of those cases where like if there's going to be a lot of garbage to be able to use in this game, so it would be foolish not to use it against your opponent for that extra little edge.
Yeah, looks like there was a little lag there, I think, but yeah, Blarg coming out on top, big spike there. There was a situation earlier where Vince was in a very big. In a very rough position, but he found a really nice down stack out of it. But I think they're just gonna continue here. But yeah, unfortunate the lag spike on Vince's end there. But that is how it goes. Sometimes feels bad.
Yeah, you just gotta take it in stride, really. I mean, you can't let it ruin the flow of the match.
Just one game, you gotta get your head back in it.
Yeah, there's still plenty of games to play. So, get your head right, get your mind refocused on the match and just try to pull through, really. Yeah. It's really no time to second guess yourself in a game like this where so much can be happening in just a matter of seconds.
So Vince almost had a second PC there. That would have been really tough for Blarg to get out of, but
yeah, I think a moment quicker, and if he actually found it, and it would have been.
Blarg has so much cheese. Oh, but Vince with the misdrop, so he won't be able to punish. What is Vince's stack right now? He's trolling.
Oh no! Wow, and he had that too. If he didn't make those misdrops.
Yeah, he would have won the game.
Wow, the way he sped through that.
Goes through it, yeah. There's a reason he's the cheese world record holder too, right?
That is true, yeah. Oh my god.
Holy cow. Vince popping off right now.
That was some really insane stuff. His burst was utter insanity there.
He can just burst. He can do it. He's so fast.
He could conceivably do that because I'm not actually certain how much... Oh, 4-wide attempt by Vince. He's gonna get it off too.
Not just attempt either, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, but honestly, this strategy of just bursting through, that PC happened so fast that it barely loaded before I saw it happen on my screen.
Yeah, I know. Dang.
Yeah, but this strategy's working out for him. He's probably gonna want to keep those misdrops down a little bit. He's already through though. But yeah, I think this is gonna work for him splendidly. Until Blarg finds himself some kind of way to re-optimize his stack, maybe be a little less aggressive in his play, because I'm not again, I don't know how much timing he employs in his play, but it doesn't really seem like much in terms of my experience with him. It usually back-to-back heavy play, and then, you know, like if it doesn't work, same strategy as Firestorm, just back-to-back more.
Yeah. Also, Vince, like, can we talk about these spikes right now? They're on a whole nother level. Like, he's finding
Yeah,
his
and I mean,
damage.
I think like this is an indication of that. Like, we saw like Blarg over there actually slow down to try to like get a grasp of what's actually happening over on Vince's side. See him speeding up again. Like, I really don't think the slow and meticulous play is really his flavor of play.
Yeah, for sure. Dang, this is Blarg. Also, he's trying to keep up because I mean, both of them can burst so fast, right? But Vince's bursts are just slightly faster, and so I think that's actually that was the most greedy STSD I've ever seen, Vince. That was insane. Relax. You're in losers' quarters, all right? This is for money.
Oh, that is true. Wow.
You know?
Yeah. So this is for all the marbles, really.
I mean, actually, do top 4 get? Oh, it's true. Actually, top 8 get paid. I think.
Oh,
Now that
okay.
I think about it.
So there's already
new prize distributions. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But but yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, that STSD was something else.
Ooh. Blarg actually had a PC there. I'm kind of curious, like, if that would have finished Vince off, but like he's already like doing a good job maintaining the momentum here. Little bit of a slowdown, but he's able to find his patterns again. Oh no!
That's a really rough one. But he's out. He's out. He's out.
Yeah, pretty decent pattern to get out. Yeah, no trouble for him. Back to his back-to-backing right now. Very nice. Oh,
wow, that down stack extension was so smart. Getting the KO too. Just those
he's
extra
getting
couple
better and better at that. And I mean, that game plan is actually forcing Vince to slow down a little bit. Okay, he's speeding up. Like, Vince is definitely. Oh wow!
Oh, this 4 wide.
Tricks.
Oh, but he doesn't
Okay,
get it
Vince
off.
tried to trick him with a 4 wide. Didn't really work out. He's probably going to be able to get out of this situation though.
Dang.
Speeds through it with some bursts. Tried to make. Wow, like he just opts
He got
out
out
of.
so fast.
He's like, yeah, I'll just make a super T-spin double, and then he's like, no, I won't. Like, literally within the seconds, he adjusts.
Crazy. And I mean, that was almost I mean, we had a very similar situation with the I think the QMK versus Diao earlier, where QMK set up a 4 wide and then he got punished so hard for it because his combo was too small. But now Vince is speed. Oh my lord, the spike!
Ooh.
Yo!
Oh
what
man!
was that? I missed that. What was that? Holy cow!
Yeah, I missed that too. Like, I was actually watching Vince's side. Like, it looked like he was trying to convert into a center 4 wide. But yeah, like Blarg's spike, whatever it was crazy.
Yeah. Dang, and Blarg coming back right now. He was down.
Yeah, he's been on a streak.
2-7? He won the last 4. So I mean, if he can just keep this up.
Wow, that was almost a quick spike out.
Oh
no!
That was so
this
clean.
could change the tides because so
so
Vince actually almost got Vince almost got an early spike out there, but Blarg was actually able to survive it. Like, if he managed to not misdrop, that would have been like a clean.
He had the well open. He had the T piece ready. He had the I piece ready for the T spin Tetris. Like, he had everything, and he just threw it all away in that one placement.
When it matters most, you have to like keep it together. In moments like that, you could get everything, but you could also lose everything with like a flick of your finger, and you move over one position too much.
Yup, it's that quick. Yeah, Vince is really kind of he's good. Okay. As I say that, he misdrops, but he's able to speed through those mistakes so fast that even though he makes a lot of misdrops, it doesn't seem to affect him that much. If Blarg can't punish, then who cares, right? At the end of the day, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think both of them are like very capable of doing both of the things that you just mentioned.
What is
Like,
that, TSD?
Oh,
Come
man.
on, Vince.
Vince
so
getting a little
greedy.
too greedy at the top. Honestly, he would be fine because, I mean, neither of them, I think, are very proficient at enormous downstack spikes. Least of all, like, I haven't really seen a 4-wide coming out of Blarg. I know Vince can make one, but it doesn't seem as structured.
Like, I think he won one game with it, right?
Oh, wow. As I say that, too.
Oh, as you say that.
Swear to God, he's watching
but
stream.
Vince is countering it. Oh, but Vince doesn't... Oh, he just cancels all of it!
Wow.
4-wide who? Dang. What a crazy... Dang. What an interaction. I've almost never seen that, where they both build up a 4-wide. Crazy stuff. And they just both survive, too. Both finding the combo. Holy cow. That was insane.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, what's gonna happen in the next momentum.
that's
Oh,
so-
wow!
That's what happened right there, and Vince looking poised to take it. Oh my lord.
Match point. This one has been crazy so far. It's still very doable. 7-9, Blarg 7, Vince 9. I mean, honestly, like, this is still anybody's match. As long as Blarg can keep it together, he just needs to win 3 more to take the sets. Vince only needs 1 more, so he can sit pretty comfortably.
Yeah, definitely has the advantage, right? Oh, and this combo is gonna do a... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say it's gonna do a lot of damage, but Blarg doing a great job of canceling that. Another nice down stack, though, that's... Oh, Blarg with a down stack of his own. That was juicy.
Oh, wow. Oh!
Yo!
That was pretty sick. Those PCs, very nice. Wow, holding it steady.
Holy cow. What a... The new Firestorm with the mid-game PCs, man. Yo! Firestorm,
There was just a
who,
mixture
you know?
of everything in that set,
Jesus.
too.
Yeah. Oh my...
They
this
literally,
is-
like, went through
crazy.
every strategy in the book. Oh
And
my
this is
god,
it. It's the
Blarg!
tiebreaker.
Wow!
It's
9-9, he
God.
brought it back. Okay, so this is literally anyone's
This is
game.
it.
There is no win first to
This is-
whatever format. This is just like first to
First to
oh
one.
no, Blarg! Don't give up, man!
Blarg! Oh my god! Blarg with the biggest throw of all time. No.
You know, I honestly think that situation was fixable. I honestly think it was fixable.
I
and
mean,
he was just
Vince already
fumbling
had the
deep.
4-wide going. Like,
Yeah, that is
that would
true.
have been pretty hard to live. Dang,
I
that is
I
really
still
sad.
would have tried, dude. Like you worked your way back to 9-9.
Yeah.
I would.
No, I mean,
would
yeah, you don't
still
give up
try.
there, but
Yeah, I would
Dang.
still try. Like, especially because you got back from 7-9 to 9-9. Of course you try.
either
But
way,
still, like one of the craziest
amazing.
matches.
Yeah, definitely the best set we've seen so far, I'd say. Yeah, crazy stuff. And
Yeah.
Vince coming out of it, the skin on his teeth, but wow. All right, so looks like we're gonna go to a break, and after that, we've got what everyone's been waiting for, the storied rivalry. You know, we've got your boy Firestorm, Tennessee gang, from one Tennesseeman to another, against Diao, not Dal, Diao. You know, Malaysian pride, and it's gonna be good. It's arguably the 2 best players in the world right now. So, it's bound to be good. What do you think? Who is your pick to win this?
I mean, okay, so I mean, if we're just going by history, I think like Firestorm is probably going to be the favorite, just based on nepotism and the fact that he's got.
Nepotism.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Fair,
like.
it's fair.
He's just the man, at the moment. There's
Yep.
been nobody who's been able to take him out consistently for a very long time. But if anybody can do it, my pick's definitely Dao to be the one that does the job, especially like out of the pool of players in this tournament. I think like he definitely has the tools to be able to clinch out the win.
Mm-hmm.
Can
Yeah,
he do
yeah.
it today? I don't know. Honestly, like until like the actual game begins, because we've seen him take sets from Firestorm before, We'll see if he can deliver today. We'll also see how Firestorm might adapt to Diao's style, because one of the things that Firestorm has been talking about is the fact that, you should use DS combo more.
I couldn't hear you over Dazer. That's my bad.
All good, man. Yeah, I figured.
But what I'm thinking is, so I mean, I think the last time these two played, have they played since HDO? Because I know in HDO, Firestorm won the first set, but Diao was able to come
I think they
out of
played
it with
in
the
the
win.
anniversary Jstris Cup stream in the grand finals, like last month, or maybe the month before that. But yeah, they definitely have played recently. I know they played in sets on Tetrio as well, which I think Diao won that encounter at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Diao's style is very optimized towards the kind of meta that you would want to play for Tetrio, but in terms of Jstris, I mean, Firestorms is definitely simpler. I'm kind of curious, like, what kind of timing Diao's gonna try to employ in this particular matchup. I'm very curious. This is definitely going to be a hallmark of style versus style, and like how to apply certain principles into the match. I'm going to be very curious to see whether or not he maintains a high level or a high pace of play, as opposed to a slower, more meticulous one.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm excited. Well, I think either way we're gonna go to a break. So I guess we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Dazer, I just said we'll be back in 5. Okay, come on, Dazer. All right, I did my job here. Okay.
God, he's like poking us like sheep.
Kick me out.
Yo, alright, we got a chair stream right here. That's what you like to see. Micro, you know what he's up to, alright? Everyone needs a break sometimes, so... Here, me and my partner Chair, I think we'll be able to carry it to the end. So, we've got coming up, as we talked about already, the match of champions, the Firestorm versus Diao. And I mean, if anyone can beat Firestorm today, it's gonna be Diao. So, can't wait to see how this plays out. Here we got a nice little recap of the bracket. Congrats to everyone who made it to top 8, you know, Circu, Wumbo, Blarg, Cheap, amazing showings. What, Dazer? What are you saying, Dazer? Oh, okay, Dazer's... See, you said it so loud, I thought you were talking to me, but that's fair, okay? So yeah, here's a quick recap of the bracket. We've got QMK versus Vince in loser semis. We've got Firestorm versus Diao in winners finals. Everyone's already put on an amazing showing. And I can't wait to see how this Clash of Titans is gonna go.
It's gonna be an interesting one for sure. Sorry, I'm back.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, welcome back. Hope you had an enjoyable time.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
But
Bear came in clutch for me in my absence.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Chair is always good content, so.
Are we just about ready to go to the next one?
I think so. Did everyone get the room links? Oh, Blarg needs to spec, it looks like. But yeah, looks like we're getting there, slowly but surely.
So this one's for Firestorm. Firestorm versus Diao.
Yup. Bound to be good.
This is the heavyweight match I've been waiting for.
Yo, I think it's what we all expected. It's what we all hoped for.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it's one of the reasons why I'm hoping for it is because I think, like, out of the sets that people want to watch, this is the one that, you know, we're most excited to see the result for, because both of these players have been able to clinch out wins in the past between both of these players. They have, like, wins over each other. But even more than that, just like the styles that they go to playing, like, both of them are a spectacle to watch. You can learn something new just from watching them play. Every single set is a learning experience, and I think, like, this is no exception. At least that's what I'm hoping. What's that 6-1 counter signify?
Which 6-1 counter? That. I think that's supposed to be the set history, but I feel as if that has to be inaccurate.
Yeah, that doesn't seem accurate to me. Oh, okay. So reverse.
I see.
Okay, yeah.
Which Jstris Cup did Diao win again? I always forget. I see. Okay. Didn't know that was how it worked. But yeah, it's true. He did win a major. I gotta give it to him.
That's really tough these days when players like Firestorm and Ajunba have, like, a monopoly on all major tournaments. Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, just to be able to, like, clinch out one win, not even just, like, winning a tournament on these guys, is huge, I think, for anybody in top player Tetris at the moment. You know, these are the guys to beat, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, these are the top dogs that everyone's looking to study, to fight against, to beat.
Yeah,
you know,
just playing the game and, you know, like, optimizing where they can. Like, these are the game changers. You know, these are the players that are creating the meta rather than following it, which is why it's so interesting to watch them play.
Yeah, for sure. That's also, like, the vibe I'm getting, you know. This warm-up game, again, as we said in a lot of past matches, doesn't look very indicative of what's actually gonna happen. My guess is the APM's of both players is gonna go up by at least, like,
dude, that's
30?
so insane to think about. I mean, Diao is already
crazy.
playing at 150.
Yup.
Well, both of them are almost playing at 150, 140. And a 4-wide. I mean, this is warm-ups, right? Why are they going hard?
Yeah, I know.
This
Are they really going hard, though? Are they really going hard?
Seems like it. I mean, they're not joking around for sure, from what I'm seeing. Like, this is not what you do against someone that you're toying around with in warm-ups. This is like, just going in.
Dang. So much attack from Firestorm. But yeah, looks like we're getting started. Good luck, have fun to both. Can't wait to see how this one's gonna turn out. Alright, PC from both play. Ooh, interesting. Oh, both of them declining the PC.
What?
That is really interesting.
This is what I mean.
Yep.
Like, it is a choice to go for the PC. Yep. Both of these players, PCs don't mean anything to them. They can have like $1 a dozen for them. But the choice to make is whether or not like you should. Because both of these players, like I know for a fact they know how to handle their spikes. A PC is free ammunition for both of them.
Yep. Very interesting. Wow. But I mean that's what you're talking about, They're making the meta and here we are.
Yeah, and oh man, yeah, Diao getting pressured a lot. I mean, APM is interesting because usually
I was gonna say
that's like one of the most interesting developments already in the first matchup. I mean, I'm curious like how this is gonna go. Both of them playing with a lot more velocity this time around, a lot more back-to-backs and pressure in terms of APM. Like both of them are maintaining this one. Previous one might have been like nervous jitters, I'm guessing, or might not even be that. Like they might just be like testing each other. But yeah again, like if the first two games is any indication, this is going to be a nail biter. Already really intense between these two.
Yeah. As a point in favor of the sort of testing each other argument, like choices like declining PC and that spike was insane.
The timing on that was perfect.
That was so
I'm surprised
crazy.
Like he was able to set that up too.
Oh yeah, I have no idea how he managed that, but somehow, some layers upon layers of follow up and the PC continuation. Wow, this is the highest level, and it's you can tell because some of these choices are just on another level. Like
they're so nuanced, and I mean it's demanding of the situation too. So that's the magical part about being able to watch these guys play. Their adjustment during the battle is more important than the actual things they're doing.
That damage! Oh my lord! Wow, and Diao's so high up, but so much spiking garbage potential.
He's got such poise at the top of this field, like the extension.
Yep.
He just knows how to get out of these situations. He knows how to work them in his favor.
Absolutely, yeah. Looks like he's really high on his field, but that means a big spiking well, and he's gonna put that to full advantage right now. Oh my lord.
The follow-ups are so insane right now from Diao. I'm really liking his game plan. Firestorm still popping off with his back-to-backing. Okay, chooses to actually like accept some of that garbage. Oh, he's gonna encounter a spike here. Misdrop with the eyepiece. Get out of this.
Yeah, misdropping the eyepiece is always so bad because it's like a crucial resource that you need because it attacks, which can be used as defense, and it also gets you down, which... So, I mean, those things together...
Side 4 wide.
Oh my... How did that PC do nothing? It did nothing.
Diao had like a really solid,
really juicy 4 wide, I saw.
Yeah, like I mean the timing on that was just insane. Usually Firestorm's the one setting the pace for that, but I mean, Diao is bringing the fight to him, and I mean he even wanted to accept that before he opted out. And it's like, no, I can't actually survive that. All
right, little 4 wide from Firestorm there. Diao says, "What 4 wide?" Oh my goodness.
That's so rare to see.
It's so crazy, right? Like, who could look a 4-wide from Firestorm in the face and say, what 4-wide? You know? Who does that? Diao, apparently. I mean, oh my goodness. Alright, Firestorm building up another 4-wide, but is it really even gonna matter? Yeah, it eats attack there instead of sending
Oh
it.
no. Okay, Diao.
Diao big misdrops there.
Yeah, like he was actually setting
Firestorm
up for
misdrops too, though.
and triple, but okay, yeah, that's actually gonna like slow down Firestorm a little bit so that Diao can. Wow!
Wow. Yeah, Diao out of there, but 2 misdrops on both ends, and then Firestorm getting the bad end of the deal there.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate because that was kind of in the bag for Firestorm.
And then yeah, choking it away a little bit. But
and I mean, like, props to Diao for being able to find that follow up too, to be able to like, I mean, that I think is like hallmark of like his biggest strength in Tetris, just like surprising his opponents with those kind of setups. I mean, you can't predict it because it's not even. I mean, if you have like a quick glance over, you can get a rough idea of your opponent's field, but you won't be able to see like the intricate patterns that they're setting up. And that really is like that surprise factor is going to be like key and crucial in the future meta.
Yeah. And I was gonna say Diao running away with it, but Firestorm winning that last game in a convincing fashion has a really nice well now as well.
Oh wow!
Is he trying to 4-wide as well?
This to me is a sign that Firestorm respects his opponent a lot, because
that's Spike.
He doesn't pull this out unless there's no other option available to him that he can see, like, you know, a good optimal way of, like, you know, opening up his opponent. Another 4-wide mid-game from Firestorm.
Center
okay,
4-wide.
going for another one. Doesn't have it fully set up here. Okay, he fixes it up. This is probably going to be a pretty decent one. Doesn't kill though. Diao's oh my god, another one? Alright, Firestorm.
Okay, I see you, Firestorm.
Okay, yep.
I see you.
We see your game plan, yep.
Diao
and it is effective. Oh no, it's not effective.
Yeah. Diao did have to adapt and make a combo of his own though. Such amazing awareness there to see.
Yeah, like, actually, like that's amazing by Diao to be able to do that.
Wow! Wow! Where did that come from? How?
Dude!
How is Diao doing this?
This is actually nuts. This is actually nuts.
It's so insane. Oh my goodness.
Okay, and yeah, Firestorm agreeing. Yeah, this is nuts. Like, there's just no stopping Diao. And look, like, he was so prepared. 3-wide setup to be able to counter the 4-wide. And he's the one who's pressuring Firestorm. How is this even possible? This is literally the 8-time Jstris Cup champion, Firestorm.
And he's getting torn to shreds right now. Like, you can't put this like. Oh, alright, Firestorm. Alright, I see that. Center 4-wide. Interesting. Man, these mix-ups for both of these players too are
finally
just,
opens up the impenetrable wall of Diao.
Yup. Oh, and looking a lot more penetrable right now with those misdrops.
4-wide had him shook for sure. He's been slowing down. Firestorm's going strong. Okay, going for
second PC from Firestorm.
Okay, doesn't have the
third PC.
one.
Yep. Unfortunate.
Just going for his continuations again. At some point, I'm imagining he's waiting. He's lying in wait for the moment where he should strike with his center 4-wide. Is my best guess at his game plan.
Diao's little STSD, a really unfortunate garbage.
Manages to weather most of it. Like, he's still going to have a pretty difficult time getting through this, and he's through.
He's just out, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful down stacking to be able to do it so quickly.
Yeah,
he just has such amazing finds, and like, he has such a way of completing his shapes. Oh man, that was such a good follow-up.
Nice down stack. Oh, but that down stack from Firestorm. If I'm Diao right now, I'm shaking in my boots and getting Jstris Cup
Oh man,
East
but this is
flashbacks.
an opportunity. If
Yeah.
Dow is actually like watching this situation, like this
Yup.
is huge.
Yeah, but Firestorm looks like he's getting out of it right now.
Yeah, bought Diao a little
that
bit of time,
forward.
but Firestorm, yeah,
Oh, stacking up
being
higher.
proactive about it. Wow,
I
both of them
see.
going for. There's going to be a
Oh.
little bit of a buffer here. We'll see if Diao. Okay, he wasn't
Oh,
able
yeah,
to find the
unfortunate.
continuation for it. Yeah.
Very unfortunate. But yeah, both of these players just bringing crazy new things to the table. Different ways to
It
set up their
looked almost
forwards.
over, you know, like at the.
Yep.
I mean, really, nobody goes 7-2 against Firestorm and gets away with it. And Firestorm is telling him straight up, yeah, like, no, you thought.
Yeah.
But no, that's not the case. We're still playing here, and actually, like, I think he just evened it up.
Yep. Oh, double 4 wide openers. Oh, Firestorm. Oh, again, I was gonna say gets there a little faster, but
Oh, he's just gonna keep building up for it until he has the perfect stack. Oh man,
that damage.
that's
Yeah,
nice.
Diao
That would have
dropping
been
the combo.
perfect. Wow, just like way more solid forwarding from Firestorm here. This is his trump card.
Yup, and he's making good use of it. That's all I have to say.
Ooh, okay, very
Ooh, but
nice.
Diao's
Okay,
damage.
Diao.
Firestorm finds his way out of there though, somehow bringing it back. And now he's the
And
one.
nice follow up by
Oh.
Firestorm.
Oh, into the 4 wide. What vision? Yo, what these players are doing right now is insane. It's a whole nother level.
These guys are, you know, like the meta creators.
Yep,
You know,
they're
like,
the meta creators for sure. I mean, you
they're
can
the
tell.
ones driving the competition. You know, this is the standard, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't follow it, then you know you won't be. This is the top. If you want to be a top player, these two are the ones to
The ones
follow.
to beat.
Yeah.
Or the ones to follow, yeah. Holy cow, Firestorm bringing this all the way back somehow. I mean,
That
he
is
was
the
down.
craziest thing to me, like that X factor, you know, like just having it in him, having another set in him that he can bring it on, you know, like just another opportunity, creating it for himself.
Yeah, and I said earlier, you know, DL getting Jstris Cup East flashbacks with Firestorm's crazy losers run. I don't know if you remember that. But I remember seeing that and thinking, wow, he just lost to a Janva in winner's quarters and somehow won 7 sets in a row against the world's best. And it ended with Diao, 2 close sets with big comebacks. And we might see the 3rd one here right now. Wow. Alright,
Both of them
Diao being
still
pushed to the top.
Yeah, like he actually wanted to go for a 4-wide continuation. He might not actually get this off. Okay, he opts out.
He's out.
Totally a good choice because he was getting pushed further and further up to the top. Eventually, like he's gonna have to make compromises. If he doesn't want to.
Yep.
Oh,
This down
yeah.
stack is so juicy though, and Diao gonna go up 9-8.
The way he extends.
I know it's fanboying just looking at it, you know. Oh, but these perfect clears.
What?
my
Oh,
goodness.
no.
Oh, that misdrop. He was out though. He was.
Wow,
he
99.
was out.
This is it.
This
This
is
is
it.
for
This is
winners
the
final
decider.
2.
This is to see who gets to be in grands. Firestorm starting with the 4-wide, Diao starting with a misdrop, but he kind of still has a 4-wide going here.
I am so shocked Dow was able to get
How
that
is
goal.
he out? He somehow finds that. What a genius reaction to
Oh
a misdrop.
my god!
And- oh,
The
Yo.
foresight!
but Firestorm's out somehow. Oh my god.
How does he? How do both of
How
these
are
players
both of
buy
these
so
players-
much time for themselves? Look at this misdrop. This should not be fixable. This should not be fixable. It's
But he's
fixable.
out. He's out. Yeah. How are both of these players still in this game right now? Oh my goodness. Oh, Firestorm. He looks like he's a little nervous. He's
And
kind of speeding.
4-wide conversion from Diao.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
unfortunate. He didn't
mishold,
have
I
a
think, yeah.
continuation there. Yeah.
That's rough. Oh, Firestorm with a 4-wide of his own, and he has the well. Can he find it?
Man.
Oh, he finds it! But Dio! Oh, he can't get out. Oh my god. What a set.
Okay, that was just like insanity. That set was like...
What a comeback. Oh my lord.
They took us on a ride, dude. They took us on a ride.
Can you believe what you just saw right now? Can you believe that? I can't. That's what I'm saying.
It has never been closer to... We literally just witnessed the two best players in the world. And any one of them could have taken that in the last set. I mean, just the opening, dude, the amount that Diao was able to survive, the pressure that Firestorm was able to maintain throughout the entire match, the way he was able to come back from a 7-2 lead from Diao.
I like the composure that it must take, you know, and then
just to play on that level in a tournament too, right?
Exactly, right? Of both of these players, you know? But even especially Firestorm, right? Being down, right? That's when you're shaken. That's when you're nervous, and he somehow clutches it out. I don't know. How does he do it? How does he do it? You know? How does he do it? How is this man alive right now? You know? Who is this guy?
My mind is blown right now. That was one of the craziest. Yeah, like.
Holy
there's just so much to digest in there.
I know. I can't. I'm not over it. I don't know if I'll be over it, you know?
And the thing is, I mean, this is still just winners.
Yeah, winners finals.
Winners, you know? Finals.
We've got more to play.
Still more to be played. We still have a grand finals to cover, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Wow. Jesus. Holy cow. Yup. So, loser semis, we've got Vince, we've got QMK. We've seen both of them today so far in a lot of games. Both very impressive, both shown that they're capable of being insane. I mean, after seeing that, I don't know if they're capable of beating DL, but I guess we'll have to see. But, yeah. QMK versus Vince coming right up. Looks like yeah, QMK needs a second here. What do you think about this match? What are you expecting?
Sorry, I just needed a moment. I was having an existential crisis because I mean,
yep, completely understandable. Oh my god.
Anyway, I mean, Vince versus QMK gonna be really interesting to me. I mean, you have like really the best of both worlds in Vince, but I think like QMK definitely more polished of a player. It's gonna be up to him to maintain some semblance of control over the set because of like his mounting speed. Vince is not someone that yields to anybody. Like he definitely doesn't like to lose. He's got that winner's mentality in that, you know, he's always chasing for it. He's got that drive in him. And I think it's going to be interesting to see like how that comes out into the play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely really interesting. I'm curious to see how sort of Vince's, I guess, I don't know whether to call it like will to win or like his, yeah, they're asking for 2 warm-ups, so I don't know. It looks like we're not showing the first one, but yeah, apparently QMK...
I'm just watching it from the room, but yeah, like, okay, so QMK actually won that one. Yeah. Vince tried to go for a 4-wide.
4-wide, yeah, but
got caught in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, this is interesting for me. Like, this is gonna be like a test for like how much you can get away with at any given speed. Because if there was ever like a better test, it's like, okay, you got the fastest player in the world against like one of the best
top player. Yeah,
the slowest top player, but also one of the best downstackers in the world. And so like under those conditions, how much can you actually survive? You know, and that's kind of like the bar that I think QMK is pushing here. And I'm curious to see how he's going to try to take care of Vince, because it's going to be definitely a lot different than how I think a Junba did it As we know, like in one Jstris Cup, or it might have been like one of the other Jstris tournaments, but I can't remember properly. I think Ajunba lost to Vince, and the way that Ajunba tried to get through Vince's wall was basically just mounting a lot of pressure over to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm curious to see like how QMK can deal with the pressure from Vince. That's like what we're gonna see in this set, right? That's like the main idea here. Really nice solution from QMK there. Again, his downstacking never fails to baffle me. Gotta be honest.
Yeah, and honestly, this is already looking like a pretty solid game plan. I mean, it's not really like the game has developed so much yet, but already we kind of see like the theme that QMK is going to probably try to go for, which is likely going to be downstack combos in order to cheese up Vince's field. Like, even though Vince was able to get, I think, like a pseudo 4-wide off in the middle of the set there, like QMK relatively unfazed, and actually like just a few moments ago before Vince cleaned up, his board was actually like pretty cheesed.
Oh yeah, and speaking of cheese, Vince's field not looking pretty as he loses that game.
Yeah, that was like some meticulous play there. I didn't even like fully follow. There were just way too many sends over from QMK side. Yeah, like just little sends that end up sending, you know, 1 or 2 here and there, and then they end up like littering the board because I think generally like you don't really pay attention to the small set. Focus on like the big meteor ones.
Yeah. No, it's a little hard to hear you over Dazer, but I definitely know that those one-line sends can often be like what's really devastating because a cheesed up field is so killer. And speaking of killer, that misdrop, pretty killer. Pretty killer. Gotta say, pretty killer, you know?
Yeah.
Vince gonna take that. You know? Not complaining. I'd imagine. Hey. Oh, you got this? Or... Oh, you good? Alright.
Yeah, I'm good.
But, yeah, Vince is like, his board looking a little scuffed. Just a tad, but yeah.
This has been the theme, and this is like where QMK opens up too. Like, I think after all the back-to-back heavy practice that we've been going through, one of the things that you should do whenever you learn a new style is like how to incorporate it into, you know, the overarching style that you actually want to play with. You know, you want to make it work for you, you know, the tools that you've developed. Otherwise, you know, why did you spend all this time with this style instead? Like, I think like a true test of an opponent's or your opponent's ability is like in how they incorporate and how they adapt to certain things. And one of the things that is so magical about QMK's style is that, you know, like everything falls back to his down stack heavy kind of style that he usually goes for. Is there an update here? Like they're not playing anymore.
Yeah, no, Vince DC'd, I think. Yeah. Looks like, Vince disconnected here, so looks like going back to us for a little bit. I see Jed said he's going outside to get better Wi-Fi, which is what you like to hear.
Outside?
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Dang. Yeah, the
That's
struggles
rough.
players go
the
through.
Struggle is real. But Vince looks like he's back. I think, knowing QMK, he's not gonna take that disconnect. He's not that guy. So that probably puts it at 2-1 in favor of Cloak. And I think Vince has the problem where he's in the same room twice, and the old thing that disconnected is still taking up the spot of the old Vince is taking up the spot of the actual Vince. So I guess probably the room host will have to take care of that. Yeah, Vince is back. Vince is back.
Yeah, great. Let's do Vince.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dazer. You can mute. You got this. Give us our competitors back. You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Didn't
yeah,
want
yeah.
to draw attention to it, but now it's like a safety hazard, you know?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah,
Alright,
just
alright.
you know.
Good to hear. Making sure you're alright.
2 thumbs up.
Oh, I think they have to make another room because unless they can kick the other Vince's
Oh,
alter
it's still
ego.
there because of the lag, eh?
Yup, exactly. I remember when I used to have really bad internet, and then I'd join 1v1 rooms, and it's like, wait, I'm already in here. All right, and it's back to us. We're prepared. Vince is just going through his upgrade now. He's evolving, you know? It's like Pokemon, you know? He leveled up, and yeah. Now Vince has become Vince 2. Give me a good Vince evolution name. This is on you, Micro.
A good Vince evolution name? Oh man,
You got
you put
this.
me on the spot here.
No pressure.
he
Vince
will
2.0.
he will become Vince_L.
Oh,
The two of them
is
will
that a
merge
statement?
together.
Is that a statement? Vince L
They're gonna
better than
merge
Vince
together.
HD?
Yo,
Is that
imagine like,
yo?
oh man,
That would be
if those
insane.
two like
They're like
played against
polar
each other,
opposites. Yeah.
imagine
Oh my
like
God.
Vince's speed tied with like Vince L's timing. I think
Yeah.
that'd be a
Oh
magic
my God.
experience.
I
Plus the
yeah.
downstacking
That's
too, because I know Vince L says he doesn't really downstack too well, or he doesn't have confidence in his downstacking compared to like the other top players out there. But you know, naturally that would be fixed from like the literal world record holder, the 100 line
yeah.
cheese.
It's true.
Tie them together, you get Vince.
Yep. Are you in the new room, Dazer? Dazer, you have to spec, Dazer. It's okay. All right, we got you. But you do have to spec. Okay. All right, he's got it. He's got it. He's in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we go.
that is really like the perfect player, right? Vince L's strengths and Vince HD's strengths. They're like polar opposites almost. It's really interesting.
Yeah, theoretically, I mean, I think like it's best to have an all-encompassing kind of style. You know, like you should be a jack of all trades. Because what if, for example, one day you had to deal with a player? Like this is one of the worst things that I think. Well, I mean, I guess that's debatable. It's a learning experience, but in Tetrio, for example, the amount of times I've lost to players that I had like no idea who they were, you know, some random name in there, but like they happen to be really good at the game. And, you know, that always throws me off because it's a small community. So if there's somebody good, then typically you should have an idea of who they might be.
Mhm.
And you would also have a general idea of how to deal with them based on what you've seen. I think if you're playing a Smurf or if you're, you know, like not a well-known player, that could actually be an advantage because it takes a little while, especially if you're really meticulous of a player, and especially if you incorporate timing and, you know, like a dynamic play style that incorporates a whole bunch of different strengths into your gameplay. It
Oh,
can
for
be
sure.
difficult to figure it out quickly, especially in a set that only lasts up until like first to 10.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, you know,
It's
to
hard to.
combat that, obviously you want to have a whole tool set, you know, like, all right, this isn't working, let's pull this out. This isn't working, let's pull this out. Or you could just, you know, go even harder on a certain style that you actually, you know, want to see if it's kind of like a stress test kind of thing, you know?
Oh, all right. Looks like they're resetting the score. Maybe. Yeah. Smart. I like this. But yeah, no, definitely what you're saying, like adapting is what makes top level play, and who can adapt the best is like who is the best, you know? And that's I think why players like Firestorm, players like Diao, who again in that set tried so many different strategies to adapt to their opponents. I don't know. It's crazy to me. But
Yeah, I mean that's crazy to me too. And honestly, like I hope that's the direction that the meta is going towards. More meticulous play. I mean, if you keep doing that, you like I don't know what it'll mean for the community, but it'll definitely from a spectator's point of view, certainly from my point of view, like Tetris is just gonna get more and more big brained.
yep.
If that's the direction it's going in. Yeah. It's going to be so much more interesting to watch too, especially like once everybody just has a general idea of the game and they're able to see, you know, like past stacking in general. They can see like what a player is actually planning.
Speaking of stacking in general, that was pretty rough stacking from Vince there with those misdrops. But yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I hope that that's sort of what the meta becomes, because it's really interesting. Oh, also really nice spike from QMK there. Yeah,
he's keeping it really clean and really low too. I mean, just look at that APM and PPS. Like he's being real efficient and smart about it.
Yeah, QMK is really like, I don't know if there's a player as efficient as QMK. Maybe it's because he's such a great player with his PPS, but I think.
Well, I mean, he's a great player in general, even
despite his PPS, which is like that's why it's so crazy that he's good. He's relying on his massive brain, and he just gets it done.
Yeah, actually though, and I mean, his game plan here is so elegant too. I mean, one of the things that I was actually discussing with him about the meta is, well, not in particular to the meta, but in terms of Firestorm's play, for example, he's a player that just never overextends a position, and I think like that's kind of an inspiration that he's been taking into account into his own play style, like just ensuring that he's not caught in a position where, you know, he gets caught with anything, overcommitting to something where maybe he could have gotten out otherwise. That's something that, you know, like having 2 or 3 ways out is better than just having 1 way out or no ways out.
I think it's especially interesting that you say that, given that in Vince's last set with Blarg, he was often caught doing exactly that, overextending with certain setups that he couldn't get away with.
Yeah, and well, maybe this isn't obvious, but with faster players, typically, I mean, this seems obvious to me. Like, if you're faster, then you can accomplish more things in less time. So it might seem ambitious, and it probably is in certain circumstances, but the same rules just don't apply to faster players in this context. It just like works out. Like, they can be a little riskier.
Interesting sort of 4 residue combo there from Vince. But he does make it work. And yeah, Diao he's in not the nicest position. But yeah, wow, that down stack was so clever. I never know how he does it. QMK's down stacking prowess is just, it's a wonder to behold. Honestly.
Yeah, Vince actually had some decent downstack combos on his own side, but the follow-up afterwards, like there's too many gaps for it to really be effective. You can see him pretty much like cheesing QMK's board, but the issue is it's not enough to slow him down before his next attack, and so like Vince is always caught playing from behind here. Okay, he's got an opportunity here. He's got QMK pushed to the top, sending him some back-to-back pressure. Oh, 3 wide, interesting.
Yeah, interesting choice there. 3 wide you don't see a lot, right? Especially just because 4 wide is superior, but it did work out there. Both players still in pretty good positions. Ooh, Vince, yeah, a couple misdrops. Let's see how he fixes this. This is gonna be another
this
more.
Is gonna be tough. Yeah.
He's out.
Wow.
He's just out in the blink of an eye. I guess this is what you were saying, you know, faster player privilege, where he can make those mistakes and still.
Yeah, I guess you can dumb it down to fast player privilege, but honestly, like, you know,
it's also just obviously, of course, like intelligent decision making and like many other factors.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That. again, like speed is a double-edged sword here too. And I mean, I said that about APM, but speed can also be like one of those things that catches you off guard. Like we kind of saw, he's going through his continuations, fantastic recovery as always from Vince, but also he overextended by just a little bit, got pushed or rather nudged to the top, and just topped out that way. So you know that's something to keep out for, because you can easily get punished for going too quickly, and this is one of the reasons why I'm against piloting situations. You really do want to go with the flow of the match as opposed to, you know, being controlled by it, even if you are a fast player that can get through a mountain of garbage.
Interesting.
It's just more work, you know?
Yeah, no, I knew you always opted for the sort of slower playstyle, but I never really knew why, so it's really interesting to hear that.
Oh yeah, I mean, how long can you really keep up that pace for? Right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
Must
I mean,
get tiring,
playing at
especially
these
for an
speeds
old
is
man like you,
incredible.
you know?
all right. I mean, it gets to a point where, you know, I don't want to lose my fingers, you know, and it just takes too much training to be able to impose that kind of pace into the match. I don't know like how long Vince is going to be able to like do it for, but he seems to like have a mountain of momentum and stamina to like work off of. It's very fortunate for someone like who adopts this kind of play style. It's just like,
yeah, I don't know how he keeps it
you know,
up.
you can be
It's
more
insane.
optimal with it. Yeah, like if you didn't autopilot it, like just imagine if you played like Diao, like the way that Diao plays is basically like Misa Mina. You can be so efficient with everything and play at like half the speed and do the job.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, Vince is still getting it done here. Still putting up a pretty good fight. And again, even with all these misdrops, he's not getting punished as hard in a lot of cases. Also, really nice downstack there, but QMK ready for it, kind of.
Kind of.
I mean, you can never really be ready, you know? Especially when there's two big spikes right after each other, but he is out, so...
Oh man, some of these compromises, Vince scares me, dude.
Yeah, he's scary, he's so fast. He's also, like, makes some really good decisions. And when he combines both of those, like, he's just able to be a pressure machine like no other, even Firestorm. In some cases.
Well, what I've noticed is a decisive Vince is always like, I mean, it's the scariest sight. It's like, imagine this is at Vince at his peak. Like, Vince at his peak is like Firestorm's peak, except like slightly faster. In terms of like his back-to-back, when Vince gets his back-to-back strings going, like he is a little demon to have to deal with.
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know how he does it. Then again, I don't know how any of you guys do it, so... I
mean, generally, I guess just press buttons quickly. But, yeah, like, I mean, it's easier said than done, right?
True. QMK's field looking so nice right now. And Vince is looking real messy, but he's out. Like, no problem. I mean, maybe it's a problem. I could have lied to you, the people, alright? But I didn't. So, did I really lie? I lied. I lied. I lied.
Vince kind of crumbling a little bit here, I think, with the misdrops especially. Like, oh, wow, okay, last resorts.
Ooh, I see this 4-wide though from Vince.
Yeah, some of it got deleted.
Ooh, he was able to continue it.
Strong one.
Wow.
200.
Dang.
Oh, he's going for another one. These are really nice setups for the initial 4-wide. I mean, he does the residue afterwards. Wow, he's actually really good at this.
Jeez.
Why didn't he start
400 APM? 7 DPS? Did you see that? Was that me lagging?
Wait, what?
Did it say 7 PPS?
Oh man, his momentum is like dropping too, but man, that was scary for a minute there. Dude, if he can like maintain that, oh man, oh no. This is more back-to-backs. I mean, more back-to-back four wides.
Holy cow.
Wow,
This
being
is
really
Vince's stack
aggressive.
right now, too. This is so, like, it's so greedy, but it does work out, and he can get away with it.
He's being so aggressive, but he is getting away with it because of his speed. This is like, I mean, if you're fast, then you should like take advantage of this. This is not like what he really wants in his stack. He's in a lot of danger right now. Okay, dug through that, still got a bit to get through.
Yeah, this game seems pretty crucial, you know, because
Those were
9 to
some
5.
Those were some really nice extensions.
Yeah.
Going for a center four wide now.
It's 4 wide.
Seems
Ooh, nice extension on it too. Oh, but QMK back really nice.
Yeah, he wants to win.
Wide.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He wants to win. He's just
QMK,
going for everything, every kind of pressure he can mount onto QMK, and QMK's four wide defense is just not so good. And I mean, I do think Vince's four wide is actually decent enough for him to be able to top out QMK just from like the speed of it alone.
Yeah,
And
no,
I
it's
feel like
crazy.
how QMK can convert. I think he needs to take a little more initiative here. Like instead of being the one receiving and countering the four wide, I think he should take the initiative and just go for his own four wide. So otherwise, like he's just going to be
the victim, right? He can't set the pace. He's gonna be like he can't counter it, right?
Yeah,
So
and that's the problematic thing I find with QMK's style. Like he's not always the victim if he can control the pacing, but against Vince, like he can't possibly compete with the speed. And especially if Vince is going off, like he can't rely on him all the time, like making misdrops and going for greedy continuations.
Yeah, that's just not like a reliable win condition. So
yeah. Everything looking healthy so far, though. I mean, Vince is... Oh, wow. As I say that...
That 4 wide was crazy, but...
Yeah, just not big enough to get out the win. Wow, yeah. Vince still putting in a lot of work here. Not giving up.
Yeah. Vince is just... Holy, I don't know. I don't know how QMK lives it, and I don't know how Vince keeps up the speed. Look at, he's built another combo well, but has to cut short.
3 wide into 4 wide. Oh no, that's way too greedy, bud.
He's out though. How?
Yeah, I don't know if QMK just doesn't like. Maybe Vince is just getting out of these situations quickly enough that, you know, QMK can't react to the misdrop. But man, like, just at the moment, Vince is getting away with a lot that I think deserves to be punished. I mean, just that entire set, really, there was so much to exploit in some spots, but Vince is just so quick to the recovery. There's just nothing left to exploit once you have something set up. Like, you're not even exploiting the original position anymore.
QMK misdropping a lot there.
Oh,
Vince
man,
tying it up.
Vince has all the momentum right now. Like, he just needs to follow this. Like, I think the 4 wide definitely crippled a little bit of QMK's own momentum. Oh man, this is huge.
QMK has to punish this. This is his chance.
Oh man, a lot of misdrops here.
Come on, QMK, you have to do this. It's go time.
So much to exploit here. Oh, more misdrops here. He still opens up the field.
QMK with misdrops of his own, though.
These recoveries are such. Okay, triple-double conversion by Vince into a 4 wide conversion. Wow.
Oh my gosh, the eye misdrop too. Wow.
9 to 8, Vince versus QMK. This is for all the marbles for QMK. So if he can't deliver here, this is it. This is his tournament points.
Yeah, QMK has to somehow hold it together.
He looks so controlled at the beginning too. You know, like he was running away with it, but Vince just like turning it on in terms of his speed, in terms of his pressure.
Yeah. But Vince at the top,
and
by 9, another one.
Nail biter.
3 sets in a row like this.
QMK finally finding his footing. We'll kind of see what his counter here for the 4 wide is and whether or not Vince is able to follow through with it. Has to cut it a little bit short. He's still in a good safe spot though with a lot of clean garbage to work with. QMK at the bottom of his board. Oh man, those misdrops might be crucial later on.
Crucial, but no, he's out. It's so quick. It's like the blink of an eye. QMK also speeding up, you know, like they're almost the same speed, which is really crazy to think about.
The misdrops probably. Oh man, 4 wide conversion. QMK needs a counter for this.
He's good. He's good for now.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like Vince almost wanted to go for a center 4 wide conversion. Opts out of it instead.
Oh, QMK, a little bit of a misdrop, but he's able to get out. Vince is building on top of his garbage a little bit, but he also can get out. Just the Vince building another 4 wide. Oh, this is scary for QMK.
Oh man.
He's out though, no problem.
Both of them are still really healthy. Oh
Vince
man,
building another 4 wide.
4 wide keep coming.
But he can't build them up. QMK
oh wow,
this is
huge.
Oh, is QMK gonna take it? That's it! QMK finds the little bit of energy left in the tank to pull out with that one. Wow.
That was looking to be one of the most clutch comebacks from Vince ever, and then QMK
it was one of the most clutch comebacks from QMK.
He woke up.
You know?
Yeah, like he woke up. It's like, oh my god, no, I gotta win this. One more. Let's go. Play it clean.
Moly. Wow.
But I mean, the comeback up from Vince, some of the most insane plays, some of the most aggressive things I've ever seen a player do and get away with.
Wow. I'm at a loss for words. I can't take this anymore, okay? My heart, there was 3 sets in a row, alright? How does this keep happening? And how did QMK tear that back? I thought there's no way he wins this now. But he did it. Wow.
I'm kind of, I don't know why Vince doesn't use 4 wide more often. It actually seemed like a really good opening option for him, to be honest. Especially since, I mean, just the way he was starting the 4 wide build for the center 4 wide. I mean, it seemed to me like he knew exactly what he was doing. Residue all set up and ready to go right off the bat. And I mean, his speed is going to be really complementary for that as well in terms of his strategy moving forward. I mean, he should probably think about that more often. I don't know what might be going on in his mind, but he definitely has a winner's attitude. When the going gets tough, he knew to pull it out, and it worked to great effect. I think he just needs to like solidify and maybe become a little less frantic in a lot of places in his stack where maybe he might have had a better time if he didn't rush through things and misdrop a whole bunch, create obstacles for himself, right?
Yeah. Wow. But yeah, I mean, if you combine that speed with like a potent 4 wide, I mean, who knows what we'll see in these upcoming tournaments if he can perfect that. You know, like everyone likes to talk about Wumbo's 4 wide, right? But I mean, Wumbo doesn't have Vince's speed either, so
right.
That could be a
I
whole
would say
level.
like the mid game is something to develop there, but I mean, honestly, like the difference is like Wumbo keeps it really safe, and so he can operate at his speed and skill level in the mid game pretty well. I mean, it's definitely not shabby at all, but in terms of like Vince's raw speed and just the raw aggression he can put out, I think he's definitely got an advantage in that sense if he were to employ the same strategy. In fact, like you would say it's a complete opposite strategy of what he would go for, Wumbo at least, because he goes for the path of non-aggression until, you know, he opens up opportunities. Vince, he goes for the aggression, and that opens up the opportunity, and then he maintains that aggression consistently throughout until he gets the kill.
Yeah, like
he
very
can just
different
solidify,
uses.
you know, like the misdrops slow him down, right?
Yeah, that's like the main problem, right? Because you can see like those small imperfections, right? And I think at the end that's also what cost him.
For sure. And I mean, in high level matches, you can kind of see between top players that have almost everything optimized, if not everything in their play. It can really show, you know, when you're competing against someone who has everything flowing, parity, you're following through on every setup that you're taking, no overextensions. It starts to become really transparent, you know, which one of the players are actually fundamentally better.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, fundamentals are just so important. And I mean, QMK's fundamentals are just kind of able to win out there.
It's just, you know, like, it's so adaptive.
Yeah. I think Vince needs to spec as well. But yeah. Either way, got a good one coming up. I mean, as if any of these aren't good ones, you know? I mean, they're all pretty dang interesting.
Yeah, and
So-
I mean, just the last couple of matches, you've noticed, like, it's been 10-9 for pretty much every single match. I think in the last 2 or 3. So yeah,
Yeah,
nail
it's true.
biters, our top 4 or 5 are definitely pretty close in terms of skill level, and I mean that's one of the most exciting things, really, when
That's-
any player in the top 8 can take each other.
Yeah, that's what makes for like a good story and a good tournament, you know? But what I'm wondering here is, because these two already played each other, and Diao looked dominant. I mean, it wasn't close. It was 10-3. That was not... It wasn't close. So I'm curious to see if QMK has found something to counter Diao's like insane style. It looks like they're already starting up with a warm-up here. But either way, both of these players, you know them, you've seen them. They're both gods of the game. I can't wait to see how they do against each other.
Yeah, I'm curious about this one in particular again, just because I mean, both of them again meticulous players in general, but one of the things that QMK has going for him is he just like got out of a match with Vince, which might help him with his pacing and in terms of like how to compete against Diao.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know though, honestly. Like this one is a bit rough for QMK in my opinion, just because it's so difficult to match with Diao's like kind of style when like he's the one setting the pace. I think he's at his most dangerous, and that's the zone that I think like QMK needs to be watchful for, to not give Diao enough room to be able to do that, because if he does, then he's going to be playing from behind, and in my opinion Diao is his worst when he's rushed, so you want to like pressure him out of situations where he can control the board.
Yeah, and it's really hard, again, with QMK has the speed disadvantage, and he is also very reliant on down stacks. So it's not easy to pressure his opponent at all. And yeah, Diao taking that warm-up.
Yeah, just the closing DS combo from Diao, I
Diao.
mean, that was just crazy.
And it's going to be QMK's sort of win condition to see whether he can prevent Diao from bringing those to the table. All right, I think we're going to get started in a second then. This is bound to be a good match, as always. Good luck, have fun. Alright, we're getting started here. Looks like Diao declining PC. Oh, misdrop on the OPs there as well, but able to quickly fix it. Not the highest speed we've ever seen from Diao either, which is very interesting. But he's doing... Ooh, QMK with the misdrops though. This is kind of rough, but really clever downstack to sort of escape that pressure. Big fan of that. at this, and yeah, both of them now in pretty easily accessible positions. But this down stack from Diao looking pretty potent. Though QMK again, you gotta, when you spike, you have to kill, because otherwise he'll be out of there in no time. And that down stack combo from QMK as well, very dangerous. But Diao not too pressured and staying very nice and calm, tanking all of that garbage and sending it right back.
Yeah, both of them honestly like employing kind of the same strategy and style against each other. So it's really just going to be who gets the jump on each other in terms of like the right combo at the right time, I think. Yeah,
the question is, who gets the right combo? And I think this is actually good for QMK, that it's sort of that kind of battle, because QMK is very good at finding those, and then he also doesn't have to worry about, I mean, as you said, like QMK doesn't do that well under pressure. So if our Diao doesn't do that well under pressure, so
no, he definitely does do well under pressure. I think like that's probably going to be largely. I mean, both of them deal well with the pressure. It's just, you know, when it all comes at once, I think Diao deals with it better. I meant it in terms of four wide pressure.
I see, okay, sorry.
When that comes in, I think Diao has a much better counter for it than QMK does. But this is something to be seen. I mean, we kind of saw QMK battle it out with Vince's four wide, and he did so with like varying success.
Yeah, it seemed like Vince was winning most of the four wide games, didn't it? But
just a little bit, yeah. I mean, that I think was largely because of the speed at which he did it, and I mean, honestly, his four wide looked pretty polished.
Yeah, I was surprised too, because he doesn't pull that out a lot. So
yeah, definitely. It's not one of those
pocket.
things that he's known for, you know. Like, there's just plenty of other things that can be said about a player like Vince.
Yeah. But yeah, Diao, like, look at his stack right now. You know, he's built up so much, which means he's ready to sort of attack. And now he has clean garbage as well that he can capitalize on.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the good parts about Diao's playstyle is just, I mean, he gradually moves further and further up, and this is kind of the idea that it's good to gradually keep moving towards the top. You know, in terms of your field, you obviously have more to work with the more you stack up, but the idea is to stack up to the point at which like it eventually becomes a four wide, and you know, that's supposed to be the surprise at the top.
Yeah. And I think even like aside from four wide, the Diao can pull out some nasty downstack combos, even without the four wide setup.
Right.
So like, if anyone's gonna find those, it's gonna be him. Really nice cancel from him, by the way, on that huge spike from QMK. It's like he's definitely paying attention sort of to what QMK is doing, and always finding ways to sort of deal with that.
Yeah, he's not going for the full four wide yet, but it looks like, you know, like he's kind of hinting at it, that's the game plan. He's trying to just like set up the board on QMK side. QMK doing a fantastic job surviving throughout the entire process. I mean, both of them are so clean. It doesn't look like they're able to really capitalize on any openings. I mean, the openings, again, just close on themselves pretty quickly, so there's nothing to exploit past the point.
Yeah, no, QMK's survival is super impressive, as you're saying, and I think he's doing a really good job at sort of preventing Diao from being able to build up his four wide. Like, he's making sure I can't make a mistake now. I need to keep putting on pressure, because if I leave him alone too long, he's gonna have time to build up the deadly killer.
Oh man!
And wow, was that
caught him
through?
right at the top. Look at QMK's board too. I mean,
yeah,
if that didn't work, it was just over.
He was dead. Yep. Was that pass through? I didn't pay attention. I didn't notice, but either way, like, wow.
Oh, misdrop by Diao.
Yeah. Ooh, this is rough. I'm kind of surprised. Like after seeing Diao's performance against Firestorm, I feel like he isn't playing necessarily like as strong as he did there. Ooh, DTC spin. Don't see that all the time, especially in Jstris. But,
yeah, I think like it's interesting that you pointed that out because I mean after a performance against Firestorm like that, you'd think he'd be playing more solidly in this context, but actually like QMK is kind of running away with this. I do think like back to what I was saying about the styles and you know just being versatile in terms of your playing. This is one of the things that I mean, like a style I think isn't necessarily all encompassing, but you should have like all the checks marked off in terms of like your skill palette and what you can actually do. You want to be able to pull out different tools when something isn't working, and it seems to me like he's using the same tools that he used against Firestorm. He's just got to like mix it up to certain degrees to get it to actually work out. Because oh man, QMK is just catching Yao at the moment.
Greed.
Yeah,
Can we talk about QMK's speed, by the way? That was a 3.5 PPS game from him.
Dude, he's making a statement. He's tired of us saying he's slow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm done with this. I heard he PB'd Sprint as well today.
Wait, did he?
I thought I saw something in chat. Could be wrong.
Oh.
Maybe they were joking about the overlay. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe they were joking about the overlay.
Anything expressly to me about working on Sprint, but I know for a fact, like he knows himself, he has to like work on that. I don't know like, how proactive he is at that, but yeah, maybe what he saw against Firestorm, woke him up. It's like, okay, so Diao, a pretty quick player, you can't really let him get carried away with too much. Even against, somebody as speedy as Firestorm, for example. He was still able to like accomplish quite a bit.
Yeah, QMK on a loser's run, by the way. I mean, he lost to this very player. And he's already taken more games now than in his first set.
Yeah,
so...
I imagine like at some point he's gonna feel some kind of fatigue, but he's going on really strong at the moment. Keeping up the pace, like not there haven't been any surprises from Diao to be able to like close out the game against QMK now. But actually like the past 3 or 4 games, QMK has actually been the one doing that to Diao, and that kind of timing and attacking, game sense, that's been characterized more associated with like the way that Diao plays, for instance. So this is a little bit of a shocking development, at least for me.
Yeah, no, this is really interesting. Like, this is not how I saw this going at all either. So, ooh, yeah, that is a rough TP Smith drop. See if he can dig his way out. Oh, he
nice.
He has a lot of cheese here though, so.
Oh, that is so clean from QMK. The way that he fixed that up. Nice extension along with it.
Oh, that Q not the most favorable. He's still, alright, now the cheese is gone and he's finally through. That was pretty scary for him, I assume, but able to get out of there. Very nice from QMK. Diao's pressure just not letting up right now. But QMK finds the way out.
A lot of clean garbage to work with. Extend this. Okay. Diao not really in a bind, and actually like looking at QMK's side right now, he's actually playing more aggressively now than in my opinion he has ever.
Yeah, I know. I'm so surprised. I feel like he's putting on pressure onto Diao, which I expected this to be the exact opposite.
Yeah, it looks like he's more willing to make compromises in his down stacking than usual, which is really pleasant to see, because one of the things that I've usually noticed in his play is like his play is patchwork. It's textbook sometimes. There are some intricate ways that he gets out of situations, but he does typically like to clean things up in a very standard way, all mixed up and stuff. But some compromises here and there, I think typically he wouldn't go for, that might compromise his stack only momentarily, but may actually extend the combo for him to his great benefit. I think like here he's doing it spectacularly.
Oh yeah. No, this is actually, it's wild to see QMK in the lead. Also, very like long games. So we really see.
Oh my
Is he
god.
out?
Wow.
He's not out, is he? Is he out? He's not out. There's no way he's out. I can't believe that he's out. He's not out yet, though. He's not out yet. He's not out yet.
Okay, yeah, but these are the type of compromises I mean. Usually he doesn't go for things like this. Man, he's, yeah, like, oh, this is gonna be his final challenge here, getting out of this situation. Pressure's on.
And he's out. How? That was such an insane sequence
And
of
he has
events.
the advantage now. Diao is at the top of the field.
And that looks like might have been a misdrop there. Oh, QMK, that was a really nice tank as well.
Oh, this is
alright,
gonna
a little
be
messy there. No, he's okay, I think. Hopefully,
Yeah,
maybe.
some of
Can I
those
not be wrong?
compromises are a little rough. Not
Yeah.
very QMK-esque, but you know, like in a bind like this, you know, you can't really be thinking about the most optimal position in every
Yeah.
spot.
No time to waste, right?
Yeah.
Gotta keep
Sometimes
chugging
it's just
along.
better to, you know, make the compromise now, survive to live to tell the tale, get out.
How is he out of these? What is this defense?
God,
QMK is so good. He's so
both
good.
of these guys are like
And Diao does
insane.
not let up either. Like how? How do they do this?
Oh, this could be huge. This could be the end for QMK. Oh my! No! Oh,
With that
no!
misdrop! Oh,
Yeah, I'm desperately
he was
trying to find the
out.
win, and finally he's able to like top out QMK. But like, we already saw like remnants of the hurry
my
up garbage like starting to
Yup.
seep in.
These games are so long and intense too, and it's just non-stop action. The pressure does not stop from like Diao, especially in that game. QMK did amazing survival, but fortunately just couldn't clutch it out at the end.
Yeah, that's got to be discouraging for any player who's sending in a big spike. But Diao still got some tricks up his sleeve. He's gonna go with like a very similar game plan with what he's been going with. Okay, some nice down stacks there. QMK cheesed up board. Makes it to the
QMK is
back to
doing
the bottom. He's just out of there. Oh,
Oh my
okay.
lord.
Yeah, that compromise wouldn't have been opportune, but quickly gets out of that commitment. QMK with the down
That
stack
was a
combo.
nice down stack. And is he gonna put enough pressure on?
Okay. All right.
Oh, Diao doesn't have
Two
the
combo
IPs.
into. Yep. Okay.
Not finding the
QMK
pressure.
not really
QMK.
accomplishing too much here, but I think like he just wants to scope out the scene, like what's going on over on his opponent's side. Makes a slight misdrop. This is still going to be okay for him. Diao making some... Okay, he's setting up his next down stack combo, I think. Oh, slight misdrop there from him. He's pretty much back down. Yeah, like this is becoming a real teeter-totter between the two. SZ stacking, is that what it's called?
SC stacking, I think.
Yeah, something
Come
like
on,
that.
We aren't Brits here, okay? But yeah, QMK a little. I mean, not QMK. Diao a little cheesed up. Both players actually a little. Not anymore though. A lot of clean now. QMK in a bit of a tough spot, but
Oh, misdrop
those
by
are some
Diao with
interesting
play.
compromises that QMK's making. But can he find his way out? Oh, unfortunate.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
close though.
Diao maintained the pressure really nicely at the end there. You know, even though he had to
Yeah.
make some compromises, like even if you have to break your back-to-back chain, that's fine. But as long as you're still attacking, I think that's key.
Yeah,
Okay,
Diao knows, like, the way to victory is just non-stop attack. You can't let up when QMK's in a rough spot. And his
Yeah, I mean,
pressure is
that's-
just so...
When it seems like impossible to kill your opponent, that's when you have to hit harder.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, at some point, you know, the wall will break. You know, you just need to mount enough pressure in like the right spots to be able to like break through it.
I think QMK is sort of... overextensions are catching up with him a little bit. Like, he's pushing his, like, speed really hard. And
Yeah,
now
this
he's
gets to
paying
be a
the
dangerous
price.
spot when like a player starts to get antsy, and you know,
Yeah.
like we're kind of seeing that with the compromises that QMK is making. Like he definitely wants this win over Diao, and I mean naturally, like it's gonna be really tough to be able to mount any sort of pressure against Diao, but you have to like be careful about it. You definitely don't want to like leave yourself in a bad position, especially since you know like both of these players I think probably work best when they're controlling the pacing. And when you're both trying to do that, it's going to be like this teeter-totter in terms of the momentum of the match, how much you're able to exert on each other.
Yep. Ooh, that pressure from Diao. Oh, but this down stack is so crazy.
Oh, wow.
How did he? Can we talk about that genius extension? That was so smart from QMK. How does he find that?
Dude, and that was a long game too. QMK is
That was
not
cool.
messing around. Like he's like, yeah, no, there's no time for pausing this time around. I want this win. He
Yeah.
played at 3.51.
I know, he's popping off with his speed. It's crazy to see because it's so uncharacteristic of him, but it's working so nicely as well. It's perfect. He's really thinking about like, how do I counter this style best?
Yeah, the evolution of a player, right? You know, like it's gotten to the point where it's not that he isn't capable of it. I mean, in terms of like the hallmark of his strategy is typically reactionary.
Yep.
But I mean, he's showing right here that he's perfectly capable.
Yeah, and he's like, I like this adaptation as well, where in the first set, you know, he tried to play his game and it didn't work, so now he's switching it up,
Right.
and it's working wonders.
Yeah, and that is so key, right? You know, if something's not working,
Yeah, no.
I mean, you can be a little stubborn about it, and you can just keep going with the same strategy. But you know, like if you're not making any mountains move that way, like you really do need to change up the ammunition you're using. You're not gonna blow through this mountain with like 9mm. You got to bring in the heavy artillery sometimes.
Exactly.
That's something you need to acknowledge with yourself and your game plan.
I really love these down stacks from QMK because they're cheesing up Diao's board so nicely. And now Diao, oh, but that down stack from Diao is completely invalidating any of that cheese that QMK sent.
Oh man, yeah, keeping a really good center in his board too, Diao. QMK kind of toying with his T-piece a little bit there. Kind of making a decision on like how to go about this next, I suppose.
I really
Nice.
like.
Oh, nice down stack, yeah.
Yup. And now Diao, a bit of a messy play field. Oh, I think he wanted that TST. Really nice reaction there to opt out of it. Oh,
Ooh, this is gonna be tight. Oh boy.
oh,
Oh, man.
QMK's gotta find his way out, but Diao's got his misdrops.
What? No.
Oh, how? How did that work?
I was half expecting Diao to get out of
I
that.
thought he
and
was
QMK
out,
just-
yeah.
Yeah, like I thought QMK is like, what are you doing stopping? He's not dead yet.
Yeah, I know. I don't know
That
why
was
QMK
crazy on
stopped
both
either.
sides.
I was
I mean,
so
like-
scared.
Dude, a lot of these games actually, like both of them could take. It's just like those choice errors in like critical spots that's getting both of them. And I mean, it just like varies between who's like in trouble and who isn't.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
This is, yup. Oh, that
Oh,
fix though.
okay,
I love
easy
those
fix.
spins. Yep. Very nice.
Oh, misdrop on Diao's side. This might be okay. He finds solutions out. Wow, such an optimal
Yeah, that was
follow-up too.
really nice. Oh, but a second misdrop. I think he's out though. Ooh, yeah, that down stack, very juicy. And yeah, QMK a little cheesed up right now, but able to build out of it.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, Diao a little bit of a risky field there, but isn't able to spike too highly on the QMK.
Continuations, I mean, the parity is just perfect for some of those down stack combos. Like, he gets them at just the right moment.
Yup. It's always at just the right moment. That's how he wins the games.
That's crazy. Yeah, oh man. Oh, he's gonna have a little bit of issues here. QMK doesn't have the pressure to send over to Diao, so he was actually able to like hop out of there real
yeah, little
fast.
mistake from QMK, but that down stack might make up for it. Ooh, QMK sending another
Diao
9
trying to open up
lines.
his board. Oh man.
Rough spot, but yeah, QMK not able to send anything, but he's able to build his way down at this down stack also.
Dude, all
Able to
these
pressure
reverse combo spikes, like oh wow, Diao is like there's so much involved in his like recoveries.
Yup. I mean, how can these players keep this up so consistently? Like these games are, that piece placement is what cost him there.
Yeah, just like the gentle nudge.
Yup. The one piece over the top, one tiny block cost him that game. Wow. And these games are so long, both these players keeping up their pressure so consistently.
Yeah.
Everyone always talks about how Firestorm is the master of consistency, but
these guys are in the Zen state right now. I mean, you know, like I call it the flow state. I'm gonna go with the Zen state this time around. Both of them have like the craziest. This drop on the PC from QMK side. A little unfortunate there, but he's still got positional advantage here with his board being a little cleaner. Oh my god, that spike!
Oh, but he's out, I think? He's not fully out yet, though. Ooh, this is still a scary spot. Oh, Diao can't find anything right now, though. So, oh, now Diao getting spiked up, though. Little riskier on the T-spins, I think. Diao, like, he prefers some of these, like, nice floating T-spins, which are often good to put on a little extra pressure, but at the same time, it's like a riskier board position. Also, these down stacks from QMK, he's getting through this cheese so nicely. I love it. It's like poetry. A little bit, you know? Just he finds the perfect word in the perfect place.
I think of it like jazz, you know, like it changed, like situation keeps changing every single time, but he's able to like return back to the same place.
Yep.
Bottom of
that's
his
a great analogy. But Diao's coming back. He's coming back, and he's clawing his way back. I think both of these players really, really want this win right now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they both have, I wouldn't say a vendetta against Firestorm, but they definitely, like, out of all the players that you could beat, that one is like, you know, that one's the heavyweight belt. Like, that's the champion belt right there.
Yep.
You know, you get a win on him, solidified. You're one of the best players in the world. Firestorm has proven time and time again, you know, that he's just got that factor that wins him tournaments. This is, you know, like the showing from these two, they're making their own cases the best in the world.
Yeah, no, definitely. Is this going to be another one of those super close last game sets? I don't think my heart can take this anymore, man. I don't think I could do this anymore.
I feel like it could go that route because from what I've been seeing so far, one advantage I think QMK has at the moment is some of his play is becoming a little patchwork, but not as much as it has on Diao's side. Yeah, like it's gotten way more chaotic in a lot of places. He's still like finding enough efficiency to be able to like, oh my god, just like that game in general, the pacing.
Rough misdrops there.
36. Yeah, Diao like bringing in. Oh no.
Oh.
Okay.
Diao doesn't have an eye in sight though. Okay, he gets.
Yeah, he's fine.
There. He can burn.
Will do enough of
fast.
the continuation.
Yep.
Yeah, doing a really good job, despite, you know, like some of his play becoming a little more shaky. Like he's still playing at a very, very high level. Okay, and there's definitely moments where he's absolutely spectacular.
Speaking of
my
moments,
god!
Oh, okay.
Maybe
somehow finds his way out. How does he do it? QMK is really like he's often sort of on the back foot when it comes to sort of determining the pace, but he's finding these crazy solutions every time. That's really what's sort of giving him this significant advantage here.
Oh man,
and that's a lot of pressure, and Diao with the misdrop.
Yeah, Diao was actually popping off earlier, but I mean,
QMK
he had
not
that
finding the
misdrop, so
pressure.
it completely slowed him down.
Yeah, but QMK could have topped him out there, but just didn't find the pressure in time, I think.
I think, like, you know, in this case, you have to be careful about when you spike. When, like, both of you have, like, such mounting momentum in terms of, like, your own play, you want to be careful about that, you know, deadly reverse spike. You know, the one that just, like, tops you over, you know, just like that.
Yep. Very easy to get caught by that. And speaking of getting caught by that...
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Is
Huge.
This QMK's chance? That's such a big game, right? Because 9-7 and 8-8 are
that was like a huge spike to
incomparable.
be able to get on him.
Yeah.
I'm almost surprised that Diao isn't like employing any, like, you know, 4 wide or anything. Like, we know he's perfectly capable. I wonder how much he thinks like it's necessary in this. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, down to the wire now.
Yeah. If he's gonna have to pull something out to win this. But,
almost looked like he was planning on it, like with that earlier setup. But okay, here we go. Okay, decides to opt into, I think, I don't know what you call that setup exactly.
Yeah. Which one? Yeah. We probably shouldn't linger on it. QMK in a tough spot, but able to just build his way down so quickly. And both of them now at the bottom of their boards, pretty much. QMK, he's looking for the right time to spike. Interesting downstack there, adding a lot of cheese to Diao's field, so Diao has no clean in sight right now, so we'll see how he deals with this, but QMK not starting with any pressure right now either, so Diao able to get down pretty nicely. It's really difficult to sort of for both players to get anything started because there's constant pressure and a lot of cheese also being exchanged.
Right. Yeah, there's just so much being moved between the boards that it's hard to get like a solid foothold on any kind of position. Like, you always have to keep moving.
Yeah, I think that's also very different from the last set where Vince was a lot of the time able to sort of just like design his own stack.
Right.
But then often that was hampered by misdrops, which is what cost him. But in this game, in this set, QMK really sort of like he's saying, I know you have speed, but I'm not gonna let you sort of capitalize by creating your own situations. What a downstack there from QMK, and he's gonna win that set. He's gonna take it. I mean, after the way Diao played in Winner's Side, I have to say this feels like a big upset.
This,
you know?
okay, this isn't an upset for me. This is just a crazy match, and for me, it's an actualization of QMK's ability to actually pull it off. He is in grand finals once again against a player that he has struggled to finally get a win on in Jstris Cup. He finally has that chance again tonight to try to take another Jstris Cup from Firestorm. I think QMK is the only player who has ever taken a Jstris Cup win from Firestorm. So this is exciting.
Yeah. Also, I mean, think about how QMK evolved, like, even just across over this tournament. You know? First, he loses to Diao, 10-3. Then he fights his way through... For who did he be first? Through Cheap, through Vince, now through Diao again. In pretty convincing fashion as well. And this is just a whole new QMK from the QMK we saw just an hour or two ago.
Dude, and he's been improving the last week or so. Like, in preparation of this tournament, he has looked solid. And I mean, just the fact that he got to grand finals today, I think is a testament of that. No matter like how he does against Firestorm, I'm actually really curious now, especially after that performance against Diao, how he's going to do against Firestorm, what kind of strategy he's going to employ in this case. Because, I mean, one of the things that I felt that he wouldn't have been able to deal with such elegance as we saw recently in his match against Diao was just like the pressure. I mean, the unexpected pressure from some of the downstack combos, but I mean, his were on point as well. He was following punch for punch or combo, downstack combo for downstack combo against Diao. And I mean, he just, I mean, even in that matchup, we know how clean Diao's follow-ups are, but in that matchup, I think QMK clinched it out, and I mean, just showed his dominance in that sense.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting grand finals for sure. Something we haven't seen in a long while. Grand finals pressure, the contrast of styles.
Also, we saw this like last week in Tetrio. But nah, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we don't get to see these guys play each other, but in this context, under this exact context, how many times do you see them playing in Jstris Cup grand finals?
Yeah.
And this is like, it's January again.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So it looks like QMK asked for a break. Which, I mean, I'm not surprised. He kind of just played 2 extremely intense matches back to back.
Yeah, I mean, just like the pool of players he's had to go through in the past hour, insane.
It's just insane, right? Yeah. Wow. Jeez. So now, do you think Firestorm will be able to keep up his like set of victories, or do you think QMK's compromises and his like change in playstyle is gonna give him an edge?
Well, that's kind of what I'm curious about seeing, just to see that whole process unfold, because I honestly don't know. This is gonna be like one of my first looks into. I wouldn't call this a new QMK. I'd just call this like a more optimized QMK. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I think this is gonna be like the real test for Firestorm's hypothesis, in which, you know, like who would be the best player in terms of like peak performance between QMK and Firestorm, and a test of the hypothesis that he has that, you know, if the going gets tough, all he has to do is center forward against QMK, and I'm curious what QMK's like counter in this sense is going to be. So I think that's going to be his biggest hurdle.
Oh yeah,
against Firestorm.
I mean, we saw it against Vince too, right? He had a really tough time getting through that extremely powerful, extremely fast 4-wide. So yeah, I'm excited. I hope QMK can make this really interesting and show some adaptation. But you know, maybe Firestorm will just run away with it. So
I'm hoping not. Dude, I mean, this would be the craziest losers run if he was able to clinch this out. Like, he needs to beat Firestorm twice. I mean, that's just, I mean, a challenge on its own is just beating Firestorm once, but I mean, I guess we'll kind of see like how much fortitude QMK still has in his reserves in terms of like mental strength, because it's already 1:30 a.m. EST. He's gone through 2 tough matches in the past hour. He needed a break for like 5 minutes just to, you know, decompose, maybe meditate a little bit before he jumps back into, you know, what will surely be a Firestorm.
Yeah. Well, I hope he's ready. You better be ready. All right, one warm-up. They're gonna start pretty soon. It looks like. Yeah, it looks like they can start. Well, I mean, as you said, warm-up not very indicative, but Firestorm did seem to take his last warm-up pretty seriously. So I wonder if he'll do the same here. And I mean, with this 4 PPS, I kind of assume that he is taking it seriously, you know? Yeah, 4-wide casually, you see that all the time.
He's just like, no. Yeah, none of that you know, down stack combo. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're just going for 4-wides.
Yeah. I'm wondering if QMK is going to be able to adapt to this. Ooh, first PC from Firestorm.
No jokes this time. Oh boy.
Oh, doesn't find a second PC. QMK wasn't in the best spot either. I think the second PC might have maybe even been enough. I'm not sure. But QMK didn't seem to be the best spot there, so Firestorm unable to capitalize. But the APM numbers are very interesting. I think they're kind of feeling each other out as far as things go. We saw this between Firestorm and Diao as well.
I honestly don't know if Firestorm is willing to let the game like get to that point. Okay, that was an insane spike.
Really nice spike from QMK.
Yeah, I half expected Firestorm to just like go for 4 wides immediately. It didn't seem like he was messing around like in the warm-up, you know, like he was just like, maybe he was just making a statement, but really like in this situation, like I don't know if he wants to give QMK a chance to, you know, like get a feel on him. I think what he would want is probably just like mount that pressure immediately. Yeah, like get a good morale in terms of like a head start in that sense, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, and it looks like he's pretty convincingly ahead in this game. We'll see how his pressure will end up for him. But QMK really good down stacks, but it's not going to be enough. Firestorm's pressure on another level. Firestorm, you know, he's not only the pressure guy, right? But I'm worried about his 4 wide for QMK because again, once we see that come out. If we see that come out, you know? Firestorm said if the going gets tough, right? We'll see if it even gets tough. You know? That's the first hurdle.
Right.
QMK has to get over.
And I mean, this is like the first couple of games. Already, like, Firestorm's looking pretty hot. And QMK is actually doing a good job at, like, surviving through all this. And I mean, he actually has an opportunity here. Okay. Window's kind of closed now, but... he's creating the opportunities, just like not enough being sent. This isn't so big of a problem because like he's doing a good job playing from behind at the moment.
Yeah. Sort of, I guess, preying on a mistake or hoping for a crazy reverse spike. And see, maybe this is all part of Firestorm's plan, so Dazer can show off his reset bracket animation. I don't know. Could be, okay. Maybe there's some backs. Spoilers. Yeah. Daisy already complaining. I love you, Daisy. But well, that's a hot down stack.
Oh, whoa.
That was such a big combo there from QMK. Wow, QMK fast enough so Firestorm doesn't get the PC either. Interesting.
Yo, that is
rare.
Okay, I mean, before like it is kind of rare to see like QMK exert that kind of pressure in like that. I mean, I've never seen him like just outright spike someone out like in that way. That's kind of like what's always been lacking with him. I mean, especially against Firestorm, who would be able to weather through most of that, like who kind of just like goes with the momentum of things. Because he's the one setting the pace usually. Like in this, one of the things that I think was problematic before was just QMK couldn't find a way in ever to be able to do like what his usual strengths are. In this place, at the moment, like he's doing a good job at being able to open up Firestorm.
Yeah, he's creating opportunities. He's just not really able to exploit them so much.
Well, it's just hard because you know you're up against Firestorm.
You're up against Firestorm. You know that's not like that's not
to downplay. You know, like just you know the whole situation. Just like it's really tough to do that against Firestorm in any context. Really, like he's able to survive a lot.
Yeah, number 2 on the survival leaderboards. Pretty sure. Could be wrong.
I think you're right. Yeah. First place, Yuhaha. Yeah, only needed like 2 more minutes. Like 2 minutes separates them.
Yep. QMK has a pretty big stack though. I'm still surprised at the side of QMK that we're seeing now. He's kind of carrying on what he did against Diao. But Firestorm's keeping up with it for sure.
Okay, Firestorm, like, yeah, he's actually opting for downstack combos in some places.
Which again, like, it's not like this is something he can't do, but It's not something we're used to seeing from Pressure Man Firestorm himself.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like just outright back-to-backs just isn't enough anymore. Like QMK has been able to survive, I think 150 to 160 pretty consistently without much trouble. You know, he's obviously got to pick up the pace in some places, but I think like he's gotten pretty acclimated to that level of play at that speed for sure.
Greedy T-spins from Firestorm.
So many fractals.
Ooh, but he gets out of there. Interesting.
Wow. Yeah, such a good way of getting out too. Like the way that he opened up his board extends like all that he had left in that down stack combo there
nice
too.
Down stack as well. Yeah. I really like these long extensions because I like how they're sort of jeopardizing the stack to go for a little bit of extra attack as well.
I think that's key. Yeah, I mean, just the fact that they're even employing that kind of compromise is just, it's amazing to see because, I mean, you wouldn't need to do that unless you felt it was necessary, right? Like, nobody wants to compromise their stack.
Yup. But sometimes that's just that little extra bit is what gets the kill.
Yeah.
What extends the down stack. I like this DT cannon as well from Firestorm. Interesting that we're seeing all of these sort of larger setups that they're usually reserved more to games like PPT, where like the speed isn't that much of an issue, and where sort of down stacks are like the mechanics are very different. We'll say that. But it's interesting seeing Firestorm build these arguably very risky setups just to pressure his opponent. But he is getting away with it.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, QMK under pressure, but can he find a way out?
Oh no, that O piece won't go over. Unfortunate. Yeah, ran out of space there.
Yeah. And now first PC from Firestorm, second PC as well. Will we get 3? We get 3. Can we get 4? Can we get 4? We don't get 4. But QMK is still in a rough spot here.
Ooh.
But he's still hanging in there. He finds that down stack. Barely.
Yeah, this is
still alive right now, but he finds the way out. That misdrop. The misdrop cost it for him, but he was almost out of there. Wow. Firestorm's PC pressure is just something else. A little misdrop there on the O piece, but he wanted to make some. I see you, Firestorm. I know what you wanted there. You wanted to go for some greedy T-spin that wouldn't have worked. I'm glad you canceled it, but come on, give QMK the respect he deserves, alright?
Opted out of that real fast. Both of them in relatively safe spots at the moment. Like a lot of back-to-back pressure this time around. QMK couldn't
What is
quite
he doing?
Oh
what
wow!
Is he doing? How is he getting away with this?
And he gets the win from that.
Wow! The King Crimson mid-game? Yo! Only Firestorm. Only Firestorm. Holy cow.
I'm jealous, man. I don't know how he makes that work. It's got to be some kind of intuitive timing to it.
Yup. Has to be. Firestorm is really the only person who can make those clean spikes work so nicely. And from
like,
those
he
like
just knows
big
the, like the right threshold, you know? Like there's a threshold for everything that you do in terms of like what you can go for at any different point. Like obviously the threshold is slightly, I guess, well, I don't know if it's lowered or, you know, like whichever it is, like the threshold is slightly increased if you have the speed to back it up. But, you know, Firestorm just like has that fluid stack going and the speed. So, you know, like he gets that extra little bit of leeway for him to be able to like get those off.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm kind of sad to see what's happening right now where Firestorm's really running away with it, and QMK, where again, he was able to keep up with Diao's pressure. He's really having trouble with Firestorm's, it looks like. But
it's just both of them pressure in such different ways. Like Diao's doesn't feel constant. It feels more like, oh man, I really didn't want that spike at that exact moment, sir.
Yeah. But yeah, Firestorm's is really just like it's it doesn't let up, right? Where Diao's
yeah.
is like it's intermittent in large bursts. It's just this
Yeah,
is just
and
constant.
I mean, one of the
and
beautiful
it's
things about
more-
Firestorm's spikes is that, you know, like they are technically pretty much timed. It's just, you know, like you can't really see it past the mounting pressure that he's tossing over to his opponents. One of the reasons for that is just like the timing
Oh,
is
he
so
almost
subtle.
had a crazy downstep. Sorry to interrupt. But
Yeah, no worries. Some crazy things are happening right now, and you know, like, oh man, and yeah. And he had a T-spin triple there too. QMK like just doesn't have the time to be able to dilly-dally at the top. Like, I mean, it didn't feel that way against Diao. It just like always felt like a struggle. Here, it just like, I don't know if this is the right word. Maybe a little hopeless. You know, like how. Because
Yeah,
I mean, the
how do you
thing
get
about
past this wall?
Firestorm pressure is like it comes all like in strings, like in not necessarily in one moment, but there's this constant stream, and he changes up the attack pattern that he goes for. You know, the slight timing in it.
yeah,
He might go for like a fractal instead in some moments. Like he can delay the build by doing fractals, for example. Like that's one of the delaying tools.
yeah. Yeah, it's those like little intricacies that can just sort of give him like the better opportunities to spike QMK with.
Yeah,
pressure.
just like literal control over his stacks and his fields, his board, and okay, he almost converted into a 4-wide there, Firestorm.
Yup. But look at the stride right now. I mean, this is
Oh
feels
no!
like a
Okay, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that down stack setup, yeah.
that
There
was
would've been
real
way
ultra
too many
hours.
layers. There's just too many
Yeah.
layers for him to get through before he can like actually go for that build.
Yeah. Jeez, we're seeing real ultra hours from Firestorm right here. This is just this is just rough for QMK.
Yeah, this might not necessarily be ultra hours. I think it's more like, you know,
Yeah,
maybe
there's
more like
obviously
that-
more depth to it, right?
yeah, there's
He is
like
getting
dig
garbage.
challenge. This seems more like dig challenge mixed in, you know,
Yep.
just at a peak for dig challenge play here.
Yup. Wow, 9-2. 9 match or 10. No, what am I talking about? 7.
What devastation!
Jesus. And
It's
that's
not over yet, but
it's-
really,
it's
like,
over.
what is the window? What the heck is the window here? I'm not seeing any window.
That was this first to 15. It's my bad. But yeah, no, it's just. Let's go, Taser. I said GG's, but
Oh, so it is GG's. I think they both thought
I
that it
think-
was like
yeah.
a first. I mean, you know, if you guys want to watch this, I mean, Firestorm's your champion
Yeah.
again, but you know, you can let him play it through. I mean, you know, it's a pretty tight match.
yeah. I mean, hey. uh,
Mm.
Microblue's getting a complaint from the neighbors.
Not the neighbors.
I
My
know.
sister
No,
just came back home from a hike, so you know.
yeah.
Apparently it was an intense one. Apparently she almost died. I'll get the story later.
Oh, damn. Yeah, gotta tell me that. But
No, but this, I mean, can this man even be stopped? Because, I mean, just look how strong both Diao and QMK were today. And
Yep.
just Firestorm blows through all of that. Like,
I mean,
yeah, no problem. I can still, you know, I still didn't even use my trump card, guys.
yeah. Dang. Firestorm, I mean, he really had trouble against Diao, right? But this just looked so convincing. I think Firestorm's style also just works really nicely against QMK's.
Mm.
So that also helps.
Well, just, I mean, in general, I think Firestorm's style is like just all encompassing. Like literally, there's nobody who has
Yep.
like a good time against him. He's always like that's like the key here. He just makes it a terrible time to playing against him.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, that's another great tournament in the books.
Okay.
Even if grand finals might not have been the most close or the most entertaining, there was.
Okay, now they can
crazy.
listen to me. Now the stream can listen to me. Okay.
Diao against Vince. Vince and Blarg was also insane, right? And winners finals too. So.
Okay, nice
Wow.
job, Modest. Thanks, Michael. This was amazing. Okay, that was pretty fun because Firestorm won, and then keep playing. So it was a first to 10, but Firestorm say no, there's no way. This is a first to 15. No way, I'm gonna keep playing.
Why isn't it a first to 15? I mean,
That's a
it
good
feels
question.
like it makes sense for that.
See, Revolution did that, alright? We didn't do much right, okay, but...
Okay, dude. Relax.
I love you, Jin.
And my tournament did that.
I hate this guy, man.
Oh, my dog. It's okay, look, next time I'll have a light bulb so that the light doesn't reflect off my
okay,
glasses,
listen.
okay?
Listen. Before everyone goes, just want to say one very, very big thing.
Go
For
it,
my
Jin.
players in the EU and in the East, next month we will be having Jstris Cup 3. You already know the vibes.
East
man.
3.
We got
East.
Jstris Cup
East
3. We're going back in time.
We're going back in time. Yo, that's a good concept. Anyway, I just wanted to announce that Jstris Cup East 3 is coming out. So no more Japanese players waking up at 6 a.m. to play this, even though they do,
Hell yeah.
and I love them, and I give them a kiss on their forehead. I would just like to say that, and also I'd like to say thank you very much to everyone who worked on this. Glitchy, all those beautiful designs you see in this, he made all of that. Big plug to him. That's my dog forever. Modest, Micro, just great ass commentary. The players, like 39 nines, like come on, like I can't ask for more. So I just want to say thank you very much, and yeah, let's keep on going, let's keep on playing, and see you next time.
Oh, and by the way, welcome
Hell
to TeamTSD. This is our new channel. This is our new home. We're gonna keep making stuff here. You can follow us here, and also this channel. We have a lot of content planned, not only tournaments. I'm gonna just say that not only tournaments. We're gonna keep doing Jstris Cup. As we announced, Jstris Cup S3 is coming up, but we have planned to generate more content around Tetris. So I hope you enjoy it. So expect more things in the future, more nice, cute things.
I'm super excited. I've heard about a lot of these things. Not gonna spoil, alright? It's not my place, but get excited. That's all.
Yeah, we'll try to do like
say.
Revolution did it for sure.
Yeah, next time use challenge and have it break on you too, you know? That's the best.
No, I don't want to use challenge
That
anymore.
was so bad.
Sorry.
No, never use. Please don't go through what I went through, okay?
Now, do you wanna see something really fun? Okay, before the stream started, I was like making the scenes, and I just wrote in a TXT file champion Firestorm as a placeholder.
Sure.
Now I don't have to change the placeholder.
I can confirm.
Yes, okay, here's go the champion and the name. Put the name, okay, Firestorm. And now Firestorm won, so you can basically see this was rigged. This was rigged from the very start.
Bruh, don't let it on
Yeah,
the public
it was
view.
scripted. Just like God versus Shrek 15-6, you know? It was all scripted.
It was all scripted, exactly.
did happen.
You think when God versus Shrek happened, there was like a bracket reset animation, or do you think that?
We'll leave the jury. The jury's out on that one. Alright.
Well, that was a great tournament. Who do we raid, by the way? We don't really
have to
know.
rate something.
Not even
have to rate
Garbo
somebody.
streaming or anything. He's playing Pokemon. What a guy. Anyway.
What a guy. Yo.
What a guy. Okay, so Is that we're streaming? Wait, what?
Wait,
Yeah, he's
Firestorm.
live.
Okay.
Firestorm, go live. Firestorm.
Someone, please.
First, you want to
Zach,
go live or you want to sleep?
Someone.
I
Psych.
think he's going to bed. I saw him say, "Okay, me
He's
tired"
okay.
in DMs.
No.
Turn on stream. Go, someone. Come on. Or I'm gonna end
Yeah,
up raiding
someone.
Papa John's. I'm
Take
gonna end
our
up raiding
viewers.
asking Eliani, dude.
Let's just raid Garbo.
Asking
then.
Eliani.
Let's just raid Garbo. There's nobody playing
Oh my
Jstris.
god.
Dang, I see how it is.
Jet,
Dude,
are you-
asking
are you
Eliani
okay?
deserved it.
Asking Eliani.
The
Jet,
best Twitch
Jet,
channel.
when do you leave?
I
Make
guess we'll
your
just
pick.
raid one of the dogs, man. Garbo's one of the dogs. Oh, I got,
Okay,
you know,
let's raid.
gotta.
Do you want raid Garbo? Okay, let's raid Garbo. He's not playing Tetris, but okay.
But he's one of the
Works.
dogs.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
there we go.
Again, thank you so much.
It's been
and
great.
It's been a great pleasure, y'all.
Adios.
I hope we keep
Thank-
doing this.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. See ya.
Take care. That was nice. I like that.
Let's go.
Exactly.
That was a sweet ending.